thing just
Yeah,
said
it keeps popping up.
Okay.
And that's, I have nothing else happens.
All right. Are you
All right.
we good?
Ready for you? Are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Live from Mitchell Stadium in Bluefield, West Virginia, it's Bluefield College football. Today the Rams play host to the Royals of Warner University. Happy to have you along for the ride today, alongside Nick Ratliff and filling in for Bailey Engel. I'm Brian Gardner, and Nick, it's Bluefield coming in at 1-3 against a 1-2 Warner University team. This is a game that was originally not going to happen. It was originally Bluefield's bye week, but Warner, a university from down south in Florida, had a game canceled because of Hurricane Irma. Was looking to pick one up. Bluefield had a bye week, so here we are with Bluefield and Warner in one that looks like it should be a pretty good game.
This should be an incredible game. We were not expecting to play this week, so this was a bit of a good surprise. But I think Warner's a good football team. The record might not show it this far in the season, but I think this Bluefield coming off two top 25 team that we can match athletically, and it's going to be a fun contest.
Last time out for the Rams, it was a loss to Georgetown. 15 Bluefield against a team that's ranked in the top 25 in the NAIA, and Bluefield really hung with them, and they really made it a game, especially in the fourth quarter.
Right, it was good. Georgetown and Southeastern, like I mentioned a minute ago, they were two extremely tough teams. Georgetown came out and they ran the ball very, very well. Our defensive line was a big point that could have been a lot stronger in that last game, so we'll see how they respond this week.
And a big difference for the Rams coming into the game today. It's a change at the starting quarterback instead of seeing the man who has started at quarterback in each of the first four games, Walter Harold. It'll be the redshirt junior Kaysen Witt who's getting his first start, his first playing time of the season entering this ball game.
Kaysen Witt, he hasn't dressed the first couple games of this season, but in the past 2 years he's had considerable snaps at the quarterback position. I think that him and Walter Harold are similar, but Kaysen cannot move quite as well as Walter Harold, so we'll see how Dewey Lusk changes his offensive plan and offensive scheme to fit Kaysen.
And Harold is a unspecified violation of team rules, the reason he will not get the start today. So again, head coach Dewey Lusk in his first season, 1-3 so far with the Rams, turning to Kaysen Witt. He's doing so against a 1-2 Warner University team, and we mentioned a team that seems like really on a pretty even level with Bluefield entering this game today. They're coming off their first win of the season last week, 28 against Cincinnati Christian. And first off, looking at their offense, Nick, it's really led by the guy who makes them go, and that's the quarterback, DJ Davis.
Right, so far they've only been a one-headed monster this season with them carrying the load, rushing and passing the ball. So we'll see how Bluefield's defense can key in on him today and shut him down.
DJ Davis leads the team in rushing with 187 yards on 40 attempts. He's going for 422, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, had one rushing touchdown. He's completed about 48% of his passes. They also have some talent in the backfield. Brian Benton is their leading running back in terms of carries, he's averaging almost 8 yards a game. Another senior, there's a lot of experience. The skill position level, a lot of seniors in the backfield for Warner.
And that'll be a good test for our young team. We say it every week, but we have 75 players, 62 of them freshmen. So this is really majority of this team, this is their first year playing college football, or fifth game, and we'll see how they respond to this older team.
Bluefield College Rams entering your screen in the bottom right in just a moment as Bluefield will be in the home red jerseys and the white pants, blue helmets here at Mitchell Stadium, home of the Rams in Bluefield, West Virginia, right on the border between West Virginia and Virginia. Happy to have you along for the ride today again. Brian Gardner and Nick Ratliff here with you this evening for a game that originally was not going to be played. Originally this was the week for the Rams, but they added to their schedule just 9 days ago, getting set to take on the Royals of Warner University. Again, 1-3 first-year head coach Dewey Lusk, and Nick, you mentioned that it's a team with so young and a lot learning itself a brand new system, of course, with his first-year head coach and a team that really hoping to improve every week.
Tyler has really carried the load out of the running back spot, getting a majority of our yards, and our passing ability down the field has not quite been there this year. So we'll see if Casey Witt can throw in a new wrinkle into this offense and be able to complete some balls downfield.
You've mentioned Casey Witt, and I mentioned he's played in 17 games in his career, and he's a redshirt junior. He's been a big part of this offense in years past, but this is a different offense. It's a different system with the new head coach in there, and so it'll be kind of interesting to see how he adjusts with a different offense that he's running in his first game action.
In years prior, Casey Witt is not comfortable being under center. We never ran under center. So we'll see what it's like when he goes under center for the I formation, if he has his drops, if he can still have enough time that way.
The 6'2", 285-pound redshirt junior, again making his first start. Last year played in 8 games, 9 in 2015. Career, he's a 47.6% completion rate on his passes, 6 touchdowns and 18 interceptions. He's also ran for a total of 33 yards. Hasn't necessarily been someone who looks to run for positive yardage, and that could be a difference between him and Walter Harold, who you mentioned, somebody who runs it a little bit. And kind of the word, though, around the team is that you should expect to see both of these quarterbacks in the game today.
Right, absolutely. I don't think that Walter Harold's not going to get in this ball game. I think my prediction is we'll see him before the end of the first quarter, but we'll just have to see how Casey Witt plays this first half. We
were watching during warm-ups, and Harold he seemed in good spirits. He was dancing along with the music, seemed like he was getting himself ready to go. So if that is any sort of a indication that of his mindset, might be ready to go in there, and who knows, maybe this wakes the redshirt sophomore up a little bit.
Right, and according to Dewey Lusk, Walter had an incredible week of practice. He really figured out what was going on, got his head straight, and yeah, I think we'll see him in this game.
Closing in on kickoff here in Bluefield as the Rams in the far end zone on the right side getting themselves fired up as the captains finishing out the coin toss at midfield. It'll be Bluefield and Warner just moments away from starting it up here at Mitchell Stadium. The Rams at 1-3, the Royals at 1-2 on the season. 5th game for the head coach Dewey Lusk in his first coach of the Bluefield Rams, and here they come to a nice ovation. As Bluefield and Warner just about ready to start it up. And the Royals take the field on the far side of the screen in the maize pants. White jerseys and navy blue helmets, kind of reminiscent of the colors of Michigan.
They look very similar, yes.
That color scheme as we're just about ready to get this thing started on a pleasant day in Bluefield. Fall is upon us with the weather. The temperature is dropping just a bit, and the sun is in the process of setting the field mostly in shade here at Mitchell Stadium. So finally, Nick, just as in the final moments before we get this one started here today, just overall the feeling going into this game, it's kind of almost a make-or-break moment, it seems like, for the Rams at this point in their season.
Right, this is a football game that Bluefield believes that they should win, and a game that they need to win. Coming off, I can't stress it enough, 2 weeks in a row of playing top 25 teams and getting beat pretty handily. This is more of a rebound game. How are they going to respond? How is a team full of 62 freshmen going to be able to respond to 2 weeks of not great play?
It'll be the Rams to receive and Warner to kick it away. Bluefield sends Malik Brown and Jeff Hughes back to return the kick. Again, Bluefield now will be moving from right to left across your screen here in the first quarter. 15 minutes up on the clock here at Mitchell Stadium. Set to kick it deep for Warner University. It's Janess Kennedy May, the junior kicker and punter. And the whistle blows, and here we go from Bluefield. This will be fielded just around the 8-yard line, and the Rams with a seam, and there he goes down the sideline. Jeff Hughes across midfield, and he's tripped up there, and Bluefield's going to have great position to start its first drive.
And last week, Brian, one of our best plays, actually our 2 best plays, were both off of kick returns. But after that, we did not respond, so here we go. We need to see Casey Witt come out and lead this offense.
So Jeff Hughes runs it back across the 50. They're going to spot the ball, it looks like, at the 46-yard line in Warner territory, as the return goes for about 44 yards. for Jeff Hughes, who averages about 23 yards of return as the freshman back there. Now here comes Kason Witt, the redshirt junior, making his first start of the season out of the shotgun. He's got 3 wide receivers at tight end to his left, and Witt's going to hand it off, trying the left side. This is Malik Brown. He's got an edge, and Brown kicking it into high gear. Out of bounds around the 31-yard line. It'll be a gain of 15 yards and a great start, Nick.
That's a great play on first down. That's what you want to see. We've come out almost every game and ran the ball in the first possession, but we haven't been able to get anywhere.
The clock moving now at 14:40 in a scoreless first quarter, and the Rams moving quickly in a no huddle out of the shotgun once again. 3 wide and a tight end once more. They'll hand it off one more time. Brown on the right side. Had some good blocking. He's going to get about 5 yards on the play. Taken down around the 25-yard line. Will bring up 2nd and 5.
Malik Brown, the ball carrier for the Rams.
And with Kason Witt making his first start, let's see how long it takes Dewey Luss to actually let him loose and see him throw the ball down the field.
2 handoffs so far for Malik Brown for good positive yardage. They'll call it a gain of 6, not 5 on that one. It's 2nd and 4. Ball spotted at the 25-yard line. Witt from under center. There's a flag on the play as the whistle will blow, and they'll blow it dead. So must have been the infraction before the play.
False start.
The false start will go against the tailback, Malik Brown. Must have got a little bit anxious there in the backfield, wanted to get the football and keep running downhill.
And that's been the moral of the season for Bluefield. We'll have great plays, big drives, and then just one little penalty will knock us back. So let's see how we can come back from that and keep driving down the field.
You mentioned Kason Witt in years past has really never been under center. He was under center right there to start it off, and you wonder maybe if not being in the shotgun right there might have thrown some timing off for the quarterback and the entire offense. He's from the gun now, and handoff dumped in the backfield. Malik Brown nowhere to go. He's going to lose significant yardage on this play. They'll bring it back to about the 35-yard line. Loss of 4, maybe 5 yards on that carry. We'll make it 3rd and 13. They'll spot the ball at the 34-yard line. And that time Warner a little bit better with the front 7 getting some push and reading what the Rams are trying to do. Motion. Witt looking to pass. Escapes 1. Downfield, and that will be incomplete. Tried to dump it off to the right side for Hughes, the freshman, who was sent in motion from the slot. So it'll be 4th and 13 from the 34-yard line.
Kason Witt's pass and sent for number 82, Jeffrey.
Comes the punt unit. That's Drake Presley out to kick it away for the Rams. The big return, Nick, and they brought it all the way across midfield. Couple of good plays. Drive stalls because of penalties.
Right, and that's tough to take on your first drive, but we'll play field position with one of the best punters in the country.
Drake Presley averages over 40 net yards per punt, about 40 net yards per punt, the junior. Pressure coming from Warner as he's got that one in the air, a wobbler to the right side, and not much on that. It'll go out of bounds around the 22-23-yard line. That's where the Royals will take over with 13-12 to go here in the first quarter. Scoreless between Bluefield and Warner. And the Warner University Royals offense will get its first crack, led by the senior DJ Davis, the dual threat quarterback. And Nick, just with somebody, a quarterback who can run it and can throw it, what do you think makes it more difficult to bottom up the defensive side?
It's hard to have your linebacker sit back in coverage or try and come down on him on the run. And with a guy with Warner's side, if he's trying to run the ball as much, that's more time for defense to get onto him, too.
They'll spread it out wide as he slings one to the right side. That's complete. And it'll be a gain of a couple as the tackle's made right around the 32-yard line. As that pass brought in by Raheem Price.
Brought down by Rams, number 4, Devin Jackson.
We'll call it a gain of about 5. 2nd and 5 from the 33. This time 4 wide receivers for DJ Davis. 3 down linemen for the Rams, and quarterback will keep it himself on the option read, plunging right up the middle, and he's stopped right around the first down marker. There's a lot of motion in the backfield here. Might be trying to get a little misdirection and confuse this Bluefield defense.
Right, and when I saw how many carries this quarterback had, I figured we would see a lot of read options from this offense today, and we're going to see it from a variation of different schemes and different looks.
Davis has Bryant Benton behind him in a pistol now. It's 1st and 10 from the 39 as they move the chains on that one. Benton gets the carry, flag down, and he is brought down after a gain of a couple out to about the 41, 42-yard line. We'll wait on the penalty marker. That was immediately when it was thrown. Almost in the area of offsides.
Offside. Defense, number 92. 5-yard penalty.
Terrence Hall must have lined up in the neutral zone. 12-13 to go here in the first quarter, scoreless. Between Bluefield and Warner, as now will be 1st and 5 from the 44 after the offside penalty on the nose tackle for the Rams. Benton with lining up behind DJ Davis, the quarterback. Davis keeps it himself on the right side. Chased out of bounds. Closest man to him was Michael Everett, the linebacker. Near first down yardage. He's out of bounds around the 49, which is where the first down marker is.
Rams number 46, Michael Everett.
And they'll move the chain, so it'll be first down for Warner. Ball's at the 49-yard line. They're starting to move in. A little bit of confidence here for the Royals offense, Nick.
Right, and this read option's hard to defend. You have to be patient as well as attack at the same time, as weird as that sounds.
Davis looking to pass. Tries the right side. It's complete. That's Theo Hammonds. Gain of a couple of yards. Good coverage on the play, though, by the Rams. Tackle made right away. That's Philip Tyler.
By the Rams, number 29, Philip Tyler.
Gain of only 2 yards. They do bring it across midfield now to the Bluefield side of the football at the 49-yard line. No huddle for both of these offenses so far, and shotgun with 3 wide receivers and a tight end for DJ Davis. He's waiting just a moment, looking over to his sideline to get the play call. Play clock is at 5. Now down to 3, and sensing they might not get it off, timeout will be taken by Warner. So that'll be the first charge timeout to either side. We'll take the break with them with 10:58 to play here in the first quarter. Scoreless, Warner starting to move the football on their first possession here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. Second and 8 from the 49-yard line for Warner University as the Royals moving the football on their first offensive possession. DJ Davis from the shotgun. Rams showing pressure and was left. Davis going to keep this one. He's into the secondary. Oh, man, can he ever run? Taken down just inside the 20 at the 18-yard line, and that's the dual-threat quarterback DJ Davis for Warner.
Right, and that's what we're worried about. We were talking about it before the game is how well this quarterback is at running and throwing the ball. So we're just gonna have to see how. I think this is gonna be a big game for the Bluefield linebackers.
Often is the case with a spy of a middle linebacker having to take a look at the quarterback. As Davis from the pistol formation now with Bryant Benton behind him. That looked like it was a designed run on that last play, and the Rams were trying to bring backside pressure. 3 wide receivers, they're showing blitz, and the handoff, this is Benton. Got a couple of yards as he tumbles initial contact right around the line of scrimmage, and he's out to about the 15, gain of 3.
Royals number 5, Bryant.
They'll spot at the 2-yard line, at the 16-yard line, so a gain of 2 and 2nd and 8.
And Warner's come out with a lot of open, empty sets and one-back sets, so that's a harder offense to run once you get inside the 20.
Rams hoping for a bend but don't break mentality on the defensive side as the ball is at the 16-yard line. For the first time, DJ Davis is under center. Fakes the handoff, rolling to his left. He's looking to run with it. Davis towards the end zone. He's knocked out of bounds at about the 4-yard line. And you could sense it right there, Nick. He immediately saw he had a lane and knows that he can run. He was going to go get that first down.
He had no intentions of throwing that ball. The wide receiver ran the corner off back into the back of the end zone, opened up about 15 yards for him to run, and he just took off.
9:42 and counting down first quarter. Knocking at the door for the first points of this ball game are the Royals. 1-2 Warner University, traveling up from Florida. First meeting between these two programs. Davis keeps it himself on the option towards the end zone, and he lunges in. The ball's loose, but they're going to say he's in. Touchdown, Warner. And there's a Ram, a little slow to get up. Looks like he's okay. More pride hurt than anything else, but DJ Davis punting from 5 yards out, a 5-yard touchdown run for Warner University. And it's now 6-0 Royals.
Royals number 10, DJ Davis, on the keeper. Result of the play is a Royals touchdown.
They'll bring the kicker, Kennedy May, out to attempt the extra point. He's 5 for 5 on extra points so far this season. Snap, the hold, the kick, all good. Punches it through, and it's 7-0. Warner is on top now. Nick, that was a pretty impressive drive on keeping it on the ground pretty much the entire time, and it's that quarterback DJ Davis who's really making them go.
And that's what we expected coming into this game, is him to hold on to the ball and run it and not come out and throw a lot. And that's exactly what they did on that first drive, and they took it to our defensive line, who has struggled these past couple weeks. So we're early in the first quarter. Let's see if we can get another big kick return and move the ball down the field.
So the Rams, who had a great kick return when they first got it and then saw the offense stall a touch because of, in large part, a false start penalty that really started to push them back a little bit. They'll send that same kick return unit out with Malik Brown and Jeff Hughes deep. Hughes was the one who returned it out to the 44-yard line his last time.
And I think that stalling after a penalty like that, I think that just comes with also having 62 freshmen and having a bunch of young guys on your offense. You're moving the ball, you get excited. You have to play this in an even keel and take the penalty for what it's worth and just move on from it.
9:23 to go in the first quarter is the kick in the air. Again, this will be Jeff Hughes as he fields it around the 2-yard line and trying to go cross field. Hughes cuts it upfield in a spin move, almost got back to the 20, and that was an impressive return. As they're going to say, as Warner now saying the ball is popped out, they're trying to say they haven't. It looked to me like he was down, Nick.
I agree 100%.
And that appears to be the case. And Warner late trying to snatch the football away, but trying to maybe confuse the zebra shirts, but it will be 1st and 10 from looks like the 15 or so yard line. They'll spot it at the 17-yard line, and this offense will take over once again, led by Kason Witt.
And I'm not surprised to see him back out for the second series. After that first series, there was nothing he really did wrong there. Let's see if he can come out and get a couple of completions and really get in a rhythm early in this game.
What would you like to see from the offense in terms of starting from this point of the field?
I would like to see quick passes, slants, ins, outs, just quick 5 to 6 yard passes, get in a rhythm, and just get them going.
And we're going to have to hold that thought because now a late offside penalty on the kicking team comes in a solid minute and a half after the kick return. So they're going to kick it again, a 5-yard penalty. That's quite the delayed call, but the Rams will get a chance to have better than the 17-yard line for their starting field position.
Our entire offense is out there ready to roll, and they just sent him back off the field.
It did look like the coaching staff for Bluefield was maybe trying to communicate something, and hey, sometimes the referee will listen to you. So once again, Jeunesse Kennedy May will kick it deep, this time from the 30. Jeff Hughes fields it at the 9. Hughes has some blocking, streaking up the right side, and he got a hole out across the 35 to about the 36-yard line. And, hey, that's worth about 21 yards of field position. That'll work out for Bluefield. And this is where Kason Witt and the offense will take over.
Right, and we need to get him in a rhythm. We need to start popping passes 6-7 yards deep, 3 or 4 yards off the line of scrimmage, and just get in a rhythm, get rolling, and get this up-tempo offense up-tempo. We've yet to really see that this season, this offense moving very fast, and that's exactly what we're going to need against this Warner team.
A lot of carries on that. Malik Brown was getting the ball on that first drive, and it was only one pass attempt for Kason Witt, his first pass attempt of the season. complete pass on third down, which eventually led to the punt, as now he'll try a screen out to the right side, and that's complete. Decent yardage out to about the 40-yard line. Looked like that was Charles Black making the catch. We'll bring up second and we'll call it about 6.
Charles Black.
So Black gets his 8th catch of the season, and now Witt from the shotgun once again, still with 3 wide receivers. He'll hand it off to Brown, made one man miss. Nice run from Malik Brown to make something out of nothing, as immediately when he got the football there was someone right in his grill, but shifty to escape Nick.
Right, and Wesley Brooks, he's been in the backfield almost every single offensive play that we've had there on the Warner defensive line, so he might be spelling trouble early for this Bluefield offensive line.
Witt from the shotgun. Slot receiver to his right, he's rolling to the left. Kason Witt on a foot race, throwing against his body, and he fires it out of bounds. That's incomplete, and that'll bring up 4th down.
And, Brian, another thing that I've noticed about these Bluefield quarterbacks, Walter Harold and Kason Witt right there, is that they're timid to throw the ball when their receivers are taking a break or coming out of their break. They're wanting the receiver to be wide open instead of a thing called throwing him open, throwing the ball where he's going to be when he's actually open. But if you wait until he is open, it's obviously too late.
So 4th and 4 as the Rams will go 3 and out, and here comes Drake Presley to kick it deep. Trayvon Jackson back to return for Warner. High snap, and Presley just gets it off with a lot of pressure on him. Ball will take a slight Bluefield roll, and the Rams can down it at about the 28-yard line. So that's where DJ Davis and the Warner offense will take over once again, leading 7-0 with 8:15 on the clock.
And, Brian, I expect to see more of the same here coming out. I expect to see the quarterback run the ball, and there's a lot of design plays. I was expecting a lot of read options, a lot of read keeps, but they're just designing this offense around his ability to run.
Davis, the senior, who had a 5-yard touchdown run to make it 7-0. Tail end of a long and methodical first drive for the Royals. He'll hand it off this time, and on the left side, Lindo is hit hard in the backfield. Good pressure up front by Bluefield. Only a gain of about 1.
Number 20, Jerome Lindo, is the ball carrier for the Royals. Throw down by the Rams, number 59, Logan Hanot.
2nd and 9 after the gain of 1. Ball's at the 29-yard line now. Three down linemen and a pressure outside linebacker now for Bluefield's defense. Play action. Davis looking to run. Being chased. Davis has first down yardage and a little more as he goes out of bounds across the 40 to about the 42.
And that's going to be a tough play for Bluefield to defend when you only have one receiver at the top of your screen and one cornerback on him. Quarterback is rolled out twice, play action to the right, come out looking, and once that corner's been run off by the wide receiver, he has 10 to 15 yards to run. If the cornerback comes up and tries to tackle him, he's got a wide open receiver 20 yards down the field.
They'll spot it at the 40-yard line, 1st and 10. Clock winds at 7:23 in the first quarter. Davis from the gun. 4 wide receivers, 3 of them to his right. He'll fire to the right, and that is complete. And immediately the tackle made by Devin Jackson, the safety, coming up on that one.
DJ Davis.
Devin Jackson is a huge part of this defense. He's been a 2-time Appalachian Division Player of the Week. So I expect to see a lot of things with him trying to stop the run today as well as defend the pass back in coverage.
You wonder if Rams might try to bring the safety up a little bit and maybe use him as a spy on Davis.
Right. More like a rover type position.
From the shotgun, 3 receivers to the left this time. 1 split out to the right. Davis on the ball in the near hash. Looking to pass, trying the left side, and he'll way overthrow that one. It was intended downfield for Jeff Suarez. Incomplete, brings up 3rd and 3. That's probably the first time we've seen him actually air it out, Nick, and a little bit over eager it seemed like on that time because that was definitely his first read.
He let it go a little too quick. I think he got a little anxious back in the pocket. This defensive line for Bluefield has had quite a bit of sacks early in the season, so maybe that was in the back of his mind.
Rams fans making a little bit of noise here on 3rd and 3 from the 47. They need the 50 for a first down. Davis from the gun. Going to keep it himself right up the middle, and he's lunging towards midfield. Looks like he's right around that first down marker. This could be a measurement. We'll see where they spot it.
They're waving on the chain.
They'll move the chains right away, and that's maybe a slightly generous spot for DJ Davis, but credit to him. He knew exactly where he needed to get, and he dove for it.
Instead of running to the back of his line, he was patient, found a little space, and just squeezed on through for the first down.
He does almost look like a patient running back at times when he's trying the middle there.
He does.
Under center now is Davis. He'll hand it off. On the left side, Lindo into the secondary, and he'll get about 9 yards on the play, just short of the 40-yard line. That's going to bring up 2nd and short.
This has been Bluefield's weakness all season. We have not been able to stop the run at all, especially the run up the middle. We've just been punched in the mouth every single game and just have yet to respond to it.
The battle in the trenches so far, advantage Warner. He's getting that pressure up, getting the push up front and creating those holes. It's Lindo behind the quarterback Davis, who keeps it himself again, and from under center, he's got enough on the quarterback sneak for a first down. As again, they're inside Bluefield territory across the 40. Now they'll move the chains and spot it around the 39-yard line. 1st and 10, 5:38 as they wind the clock again. Here in the first quarter, 7-0. Warner's on top of Bluefield. Barks it out. He'll hand it off to the motion man. There's a flag down. Looks like in the area of holding is the Bluefield front seven does meet the ball carrier Theo Hammonds after a gain of only a couple, but we'll wait on the marker. That was pretty much immediately after Hammond got the handoff when that flag went up in the air.
That's one problem with motions is if you have enough tape. Hold on one second.
We'll wait for the call. It will indeed go against Warner as they're moving it back.
Illegal formation.
Illegal formation.
5 players in the backfield.
With 5 players in the backfield, so probably a direct result of the design of that play.
Right, and that leads me into my next point is when you have so much motion and zigs and zags and incorporate it into an offense, you can run into not only having plays keyed by linebackers, but also legal formations.
Ball's at the 44-yard line, 1st and 15 as the Rams look to be lined up in man coverage here, pressed on the outside. Quick pass screen out to the slot receiver, and that will go for a gain of about 6 as that ball complete to Trage McClary.
DJ Davis's pass.
And they're back towards the original line of scrimmage, and it will be a 2nd and a long 9. Gain of 6 on that play.
And that's one thing, if you're Bluefield College's defense, you need to take advantage of that penalty early in a drive, and you need to stuff in these next couple plays to get the ball back and start moving.
4:34 and winding down here in the first quarter. From the shotgun with 3 wide receivers now for the Royals offense. Davis from the shotgun. He'll take the snap. And the handoff now, Lindo wrapped up in the backfield. Great push up front. Larry Jefferson looked like the first one there. Group effort, though, by the Rams defense as they'll tackle him for a loss.
Larry Jefferson's a name that we've said a lot this season. He's had a heck of a year thus far. He's really anchored that Bluefield College defensive line.
Coming off the end and getting great penetration there as it calls up 3rd and 12. Ball's at the 4-yard line, and the Rams open to stop them here before they get within striking distance and get the football back. Davis from the gun again. On 3rd and 12, some noise from the stands as it looks like this might be offside as a free play, and he'll sling it incomplete, and hard count might have got Devin Jackson there as he was ready to blitz from the outside.
Just a little overeager on that play right there.
He knew it right away, too, as he tried to step back in, and Davis, credit to him, saw that he had him and had a free play and immediately called for it. So offside is indeed the call against Devin Jackson, the safety for the Rams. It's a 5-yard penalty, so it goes from 3rd and 12 to 3rd and 7. They'll put it at the 41-yard line. Does that change anything you think defensively here, Nick, for the Rams?
I think so. I think instead of looking for a pass right here, I would not be surprised if Warner just snaps it to his quarterback and he takes off towards us.
Davis has picked up a couple of 3rd downs with keepers himself, as he tries the hard count again, and he might have almost had it. Now on a rollout, trying the right side, incomplete. That was intended for McClary, and it looked like the defensive tackle, I believe, that was Terrence Hall, almost jumped offside, but got back in time.
That was very close, and that's something so far earlier in this game he has not been accurate, and he is not wanting to drop back straight back in the pocket. He's wanting to roll. So if Bluefield can keep Warner into passing situations, I think that's going to be a big help for our defense.
Jeunesse Kennedy May is both the kicker and the punter for Warner, and he's out to kick it away. For the Rams, Johnny Myers back to return. He's had 10 cracks at returning a punt. His average only 1.5 yards per return, as that one will sail out of bounds. Looked like it landed out of bounds at around the 17-yard line, and that's where the Bluefield offense will take over. Well, spotted at the 18. That's an 18-yard punt. 3:26 on the clock in the first quarter, and Bluefield now will bring the offense out to try and get the equalizing score, trailing 7-0.
Takes over on their own 18-yard line, 1st and 10.
So 3 and out the last time for the offense, and Rams now deep in their own territory, and Case and Whitt will get back to work. Spotted at the far hash. Whitt with a handoff. And this is Malik Brown. Just got a couple out to about the 20-yard line, gain of 2.
For 5, Malik Brown, the ball carrier, brought down by host of Royals.
Brown's shifty back there, Nick. He's looks like he's really trying to rely a lot on his speed and his quickness.
He is, and he's hitting the hole with a little bit more power this week, and that's exciting to see, especially on these first down. First down, gain 4 yards, that's a positive play.
Sophomore is listed at only 5'5", 150 pounds as a rollout now for Whitt. He dumps it off, and that's complete with Kyle Cater. A lot of space. He's got first down yardage and a little bit more out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They'll give him the 34. First down, Bluefield.
And Brian, I don't want to sound biased, but that is one of my favorite plays in football. A play-action pass to the left, you come back to the right, you have a fullback 3 to 4 yards off the ball. Fullbacks are like ghosts almost on pass plays. You always forget where they're at.
Well-designed play by the Bluefield offense, and now the handoff. This will be Malik Brown bursting into the secondary. He's taken down just shy of midfield, and there's that speed and the shiftiness from the sophomore tailback.
He finds the smallest hole, he squeaks right through, and then before you can even think about it, he's 10 yards down the field.
So Brown, who averages about 4.3 yards per carry, entering play today, 23 carries for 98 yards. He's also caught 4 passes, and he gets it again. Good push from the Warner defense up front to take him down right around midfield.
There he is again, Wesley Brooks in on the tackle.
They'll lose a yard on the tackle from Brooks. 2nd and 11. Whitt looking to throw, dumps it off, and that one was dropped and nearly intercepted. He had Jeff Hughes in motion, the freshman, hit him on the hands and just couldn't pull it in.
Hit him in the worst place possible. But no, that's a play that we need to make. Early in the season, we've seen a couple drops that have hurt us, and that might be another issue with the chemistry, as your quarterback might not be able to trust that young receiver as much as you'd like to see. I'd like to see him go right back to him and see if he can make a play for us.
Hughes was running that underneath route and looked like he was going to have a little bit of room to operate, maybe a sense of starting to run before he had the football. 3rd and 11. Whitt going long. He's got a man wide open, and that one's complete. But stumbling and falling, Morgan Covington. That'll be enough for a first down. Could have been a lot more, but a big play for the Rams offense.
That's one thing that I expected to see out of Casey that we haven't seen yet this far is a throw down the field with accuracy to get that big gain. That's a very positive thing to see if you're a Bluefield College football fan.
Under 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. Now 1:45 as it's winding down, and the handoff. Now he'll give it off to Alex Martin, and Martin, keeping the legs moving, gets it down for a gain of 5 yards to the 20-yard line. Martin, who last season led the team in rushing, averaged over 6 yards a carry, 929 yards and 9 touchdowns last year. This year, been a little bit tough to get him going. He's only averaging 2.9 yards a carry, but his first crack at things working here in the first quarter.
Right, he's trying to see exactly how he fits into this new offense.
He's the tailback, and he'll get it again, and Martin Keeps the legs moving once more, patient as he ran into his blockers, but stepped back and got a little bit more out towards the 16-yard line, it looks like, and probably just short of a first down.
And this is a spot in the ballgame when you do see a lot of Alex Martin, is when we get on the other team's side of the field, specifically inside their 20.
The junior running back, 5'10". He's 230 pounds, big boy in the backfield. He's still there. He'll get it once more with a hole. There's first down yardage. And Martin running downhill. Tackled at the 12-yard line. Gain of 4 and a first down for the Rams. We're under a minute to play in the first quarter. Now at 36 seconds and winding down. Rams knocking at the door for their first score of this late Saturday afternoon. Now the handoff, and again up to 5, and they're getting some good push up front now, Nick.
This is a good drive by Bluefield. Every play that we've had thus far has been positive, and 4 to 5 yards a pop. This is very impressive.
They need the 1-yard line for a first down. It is not goal to go from the 4-yard line, 2nd and 3, and that's going to do it for the first quarter. Clock hits 0 for the opening 15 minutes, and it's been an eventful one. It's the Royals of Warner University leading Bluefield 7-0. Rams, though, knocking at the door when we return for the second quarter here from Bluefield. .15 on the clock as the teams have switched sides of the field, and the Rams knocking at the door. 2nd and 3 from the 4-yard line. Cason Witt from the shotgun. He'll hand it off, and on the right side, he's got enough for the end zone. Touchdown, Bluefield. Alex Martin on the sweep. The right side off the tackle, and untouched. Rams on the board.
That's a great drive. That is one of the best drives that I've seen this season. That should give this offense a lot of confidence. And Cason Witt coming in on only a 2nd or 3rd drive of the season, scoring a touchdown and leading this team. Looks very good.
On the 3rd drive, he did look comfortable. Had a couple of passes complete for good yardage in the 2nd touchdown run of the season for Alex Martin. Here's Tanner Griffith, freshman kicker, to try and make it a tie ball game. He does so successfully, bangs it through. Nicely done on a low snap to get that one up and get the hold down for Bluefield's holder, Zach Wright.
7-7.
So we're tied at 7. The first play of the second quarter yields points for the Rams. A 4-yard touchdown run for Alex Martin, and the game is tied at 7. So Bluefield will give it back now to the Warner offense, and Nick in the first half, first quarter I should say, 81 yards rushing on 8 carries for DJ Davis. He's got a touchdown. He's averaging over 10 yards a carry. That's what really needs to be fixed.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I saw his numbers from last week, and honestly, I thought it was a typo, but I'm here. He's proved me wrong here in this first quarter, and that's something that, as a Bluefield defense, you got to key in on. You got to hit him as much as you can, and when you do get a chance to get on him, you got to hit him pretty hard.
Rams kick it away. Bryant Benton to return it. Makes one man miss, and Benton will be yanked down from behind. Just shy of the 20. He'll give him the 19-yard line, and that's where the Warner offense will take over. It's been all rushing for Warner is overall in this game. Running the football with now 115 yards on the ground, only one passing yard. Davis is 4 for 5 for 1 yard. And he'll come back out. There's been a lot of screens, and some have gone for losses, and he'll bring the offense out once again.
And I think if you're Bluefield, put a ton of guys in the box, blitz a ton, make them beat you over the top if you only have 1 yard pass in the first quarter.
We did see his only attempt downfield. He airmailed his receiver. Is now the handoff. This will be Bryant Benton, and Benton's going to lose yardage on the play. Good push from the front 7 for the Rams as a tackle will go for a loss.
Number 5, Bryant Benton, ball carrier, brought down by the Rams, number 56, Andre.
It's Andre Evans who will get the tackle. Lost a yard on the play, brings up 2nd and 11. Good job by the linebacker getting into the backfield to blow that play up. 14:20 to go in the second quarter and counting down. Moving clock here in Bluefield. DJ Davis will work from the shotgun. They've got 3 receivers bunched to the left, 1 split out to the right. Motion for the Royals. Davis on a play fake, throws over the middle, and that's caught. Made 1 man miss, but Jeff Suarez is brought down after a gain of only a few. That'll be 3rd and about, looks like 8 yards.
Right, and if you're the Bluefield defense, this is the spot that you want to put a running team in. It's 3rd and more than 5. Let's see if they elect to throw it or if they still try and pick up those 8 yards on the ground.
Really kind of makes that first play all the more important. 2nd and long. They're a little bit more likely to put it in the air there as well. This from the gun. Looking to pass. 3-step drop. Davis makes 1 man miss. He's going to try and run. He's got nowhere to go. Tackled, brought down for a sack in the backfield. And that's going to be a 3 and out for the Warner offense.
And that's a big play. We just scored a touchdown. We come out, we get a 3 and out. That's huge. Let's see if Casey Witten, this offense, can get back out there and get some more points on the board.
James Jones, I beg your pardon, Bobby McBride will get the sack
Brings up 4th down and 13
for Bluefield, getting into the backfield and tracking down the elusive DJ Davis.
46 May
And
on
so
the punt.
Kennedy May will be out to punt and stands between the 1 and the 2 yard line. Johnny Myers back to return. End over end kick. Myers has it, and not much that he can do with this one as pressure on him right away when he fielded that at the 48, scored it forward to about the 46, and the offense will get back to work for Bluefield.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot more of Malik Brown on this drive and try and get him back going again, but also Casey went through to the last drive, and Alex Martin, of course. Once we got down towards the 30, he came in and did the job that he's very good at doing.
And Martin's going to be the tailback coming out here with the offense to start it out for the Rams, who will start in Warner territory for the 2nd time in this game. Of course, the initial return on the kickoff from Jeff Hughes had them start at the 44 before the drive stalled. Whittle handed off, and that's Alex Martin forward for a gain of a few. Got about 3 yards on the play. They'll spot the ball at, looks like the 42-yard line, 2nd and 7.
2nd and 7.
And the Rams offense sticking with what worked for them, with the big tailback Martin in there with Witt. Tried to keep it this time, and he's brought down on the option, and right away there was a defense right in his face, and not much you could do with that.
And that's where you have a quarterback playing in his first game this season, even if he has started 17 games in the past, is getting those live reads, off defensive ends and making the right call.
48 to go in the second quarter as the clock is winding, and that brings up 3rd and 11. So after the yardage, looks like a false start is going to push him back even further. Offense looked a little bit disjointed getting up to the line there.
Right, they did not look like everybody was on the same page with that play, and that obviously showed.
Left guard Andrew McFree, the one called for it, so that'll push it back to 3rd and 16 from the 49-yard line. Rams need to get all the way out to the 35.
After the penalty, brings up 3rd down and 16.
From the shotgun, Casey Witt.
This is a spot where you want to look for Antonio Strickland coming across the middle.
3-step drop. He steps up into the pocket, firing downfield. He's got a man, and that is caught That's going to be first down, or no, they're going to say he didn't pull it in, was bobbling a little bit and might not have been able to get possession before he got the feet down. So it's incomplete. That was Charles Black, almost made a great catch.
That was a great play. It was really, really close to being a catch. I think one referee down on the far end thought it was, and the other one disagreed, so they ended up talking it out. But that was a great throw and a great route, but just couldn't keep the ball in control.
Almost big on the 3rd and long, but instead it brings up 4th and 16. And now the Rams go 3 and out and will punt it away. 2 return men back for Warner. There's a flag down just as the punt is up in the air, and a fair catch called for, and it was muffed, but eventually fallen on. And we'll wait and see what the penalty marker is.
Fair catch by the Royals. Flag on the play.
Joe, if this stands, it would be Warner football at around the 15-yard line. The officials still sorting out the call with the flag coming down, and it looks like Bluefield's going to re-kick this. So that pushes him back 5 more yards, and it'll be 4th and 21. Now the ball is spotted at the 44-yard line. 11:20 to go here in the second quarter. Drake Presley will get a chance to put one in the air once again. That's Xavier Jackson back to return for Warner. We'll kick it over to the other side, and instead Jeff Suarez. They had 2 deep. Suarez with some blocking. Flag goes down, and Suarez looked like he might have stepped out of bounds. They'll say he's still in play. Is tackled at the 27. There was a flag in kind of the area of either a hold or a block in the back there, Nick.
Right, I believe it was a block in the back.
A lot of laundry on the field so far in this football game. Evening game here in Bluefield. It's turned into a cool evening here. Right now in West Virginia, just down the road in Virginia. We'll wait on the call once more as they're still trying to sort this out.
On the return, holding, receiving team number 2.
So the hold will go against Warner. They
Down.
say half the distance to the goal from the spot of the foul. It's first down for Warner. Still moving it back. That'll be inside the 10-yard line. Officials still trying to find the spot. It'll be the 9. So 1st and 10 from the 9-yard line. That's where DJ Davis and the Royals will take over. Went 3 and out on the last possession. The Bluefield defense seemed to have figured out this Warner offensive set. Designed run for Davis. Nothing doing as he's met in the backfield, and guess who? Devin Jackson, I believe, involved on that. DeMarcus Wimbush will get the tackle, though.
And Bluefield, last drive, I meant to mention it to you, they've switched from a 3-man front to a 4-man front, and they've been able to stop that run pretty well.
Getting more in the box like you called for. 10:38 to go here in the second quarter. They're showing pressure. Quick pass to the right side, and that will be complete. And looked like the corner might have got there a little bit early on some contact. As a flag comes in just at the tail end of the play.
Held by number 8, Theodore Hammond.
Pass was complete to Theo Hammonds for a gain of a few yards, and
Number 28.
the pass interference call will go against Jonathan Green.
Automatic first down.
And one thing this Bluefield defense is doing is they're getting a lot more pressure on the ends going north and south, forcing Warner's running backs and quarterback up the middle where all our big guys are sitting waiting for him.
So the pass interference call will make it first down. 1st and 10 from the 14-yard line. And the handoff to Lindo. Not much front seven again, starting to get the pressure and only let him get about a yard there. So in the second quarter, it's been a big, big improvement after we talked about going into this quarter. The just insane amount of yards put up both by the quarterback and the running backs for Warner.
And I think that we're keying in more on the run and daring them to almost beat us with a pass, go over top. Them missing that one long pass, being inaccurate, hurt them really bad in the first quarter.
In the first quarter, it was 12 carries for 115 yards. Davis with pressure in the backfield. He can't get away. He'll be brought down for a sack. Darius Flowers got him.
And that's the adjustments we needed to make. We needed to have a DN waiting for him on the play-action pass, just waiting for him to roll out and just tackle.
Flowers was not going to let Davis get away. He got a hold of the jersey and big hand strength there to kind of pull him towards himself just on the number 10 white jersey for DJ Davis. 3rd and 13 from the 11. 7 on the play clock. Davis back to pass. Going over the middle, and that's complete. That'll be first down yardage. The ball comes out, and the whistle blows. They're going to say he was down. The back judge is the one who blew the whistle and said that he was for sure down. It will be first down yardage as that was complete for a first down on the 3rd and 13.
And that's been the weakest spot of our pass coverage all season, has been right over the middle. We've been beat on it for touchdowns and long plays the entire season.
It's Amari Price who makes the catch. Got about 15 yards on the play, and now the handoff. Lindo goes out of bounds on the left side. Got about 3 yards, and right when it looked like Bluefield really kind of taking control on the defensive side of things, the big play for Warner, and suddenly they've got some momentum.
Right, and that also puts back in the back of the mind of the defensive coordinator for Bluefield that they can throw the ball down the field and pick up first downs that way. It
was really the first time that they had actually passed a test with a deep pass downfield, and that went right down the middle, a seam route. Now from the shotgun, it's Davis. Pressure. Davis puts it in the air. Single coverage, incomplete, and potentially an offensive pass interference. That will not be called. Jeff Suarez looked like he might have pushed the defensive back a touch for the Rams, but just an incomplete pass.
There was some battling going on, but I like to let him play, and that was a ball that was just a tad underthrown, but great coverage out there.
8:18 on the clock, second quarter, 7-7 ball game. Ball's at the 38 on 3rd and 5. Pistol formation. Jerome Lindo, the running back, who will now move up and go next to Davis, who pump fakes, now looks to run. Pressure from the backside. He's hit as he throws and nearly intercepted. The pressure came from Darius Flowers in the backfield again, and he got a good lick on Davis. Was a little slow walking to the sideline at 4th down.
And that's one thing that you get if you're a football team that has a quarterback that's mobile and runs the football a lot. It's hard to keep him protected.
It was a blindside hit, and Flowers coming from the backside and just clocked him, and he was a little fired up, and his teammates giving him high fives and helmet bumps as he went back to the sideline. They'll kick it away. High kick pressure in the backfield, and fair catch is called for, and lunging to make it Johnny Myers, and might be making everybody a little bit nervous there, but he does pull it in just shy of the 40-yard line. Bluefield will take over at its own 38.
And that's become Johnny Myers' MO for this season is not calling fair catches or calling fair catches. And he's been fun to watch, very exciting to watch, catching punts for sure.
Maybe a little bit too excited back there on some of the routine plays.
Yeah, absolutely.
1st and 10 from the 38, 8:04 to Jackson Witt, bringing the offense out. Joined by Alex Martin as the tailback, who has been the featured back in the last couple of drives. He's picked up the touchdown run, 4 yards on the first play of the second quarter to tie the ball game at 7. Martin
Great read.
Will not get it on the keeper this time. It's Witt who will lunge forward for a couple of extra yards. And like you said, Nick, a really good read by the quarterback there.
He saw that DN crash. He pulled it, and he just took off.
Witt, in his career, hasn't necessarily been a big-time running quarterback. In fact, only 33 net rushing yards in his career entering play today. But Picks up 8 yards on the option read that time. 2nd and 2. Ball's at the 46. He'll hand it off this time, and Martin is nowhere to go. Alex Martin bottled up in the backfield. He lost 2 yards that time. It'll be 3rd and 4.
Alex Martin, the ball carrier, stopped for a loss.
Looked like Kevin Washington, a defensive tackle, was the one who made the tackle for the Royals.
And I would look to watch for Casey Witt. Try and throw the ball down the field, 15 yards plus right here.
Warner trying to change personnel, and Witt looks like he got the snap off just in time for a free play. He'll dump it off to Martin, who's got first down yardage. He's out of bounds, and now a flag comes in late, maybe for a late hit. But a lot going on before that play, and the Rams will pick up. It looks like a first down. We'll wait on the flag. But I don't know if you saw, but sprinting off, Cameron Davis was trying to get off the field. He lunged for the sideline just before the ball was snapped. It looked like to me he was still on the field, but no flag came for too many men.
They did not throw one. I thought he was for sure still on the field.
We'll still wait for the call from the officials. Clock's at 7:11 here in the second quarter.
Personal foul. Horse collar tackle.
And a horse collar tackle will go against Warner.
15 yards.
So tack 15 yards to the end of that play. They had already picked up the first down and now march it deeper into Warner territory.
And that's a break that Bluefield needs. We got to get points here at some point.
The Rams starting to get a little mojo going as they'll spot the ball now at the 33-yard line. 1st and 10, 7-7 ball game, second quarter. Witt from the gun. Hand it off. Brown has some space on the outside. Malik Brown, he's tripped up on the play and is taken down near first down yardage, a little bit short, and Brown's slow to get back to his feet. Or I beg your pardon, that's not Brown, I believe. That's Johnny Myers. Number 13 appears to have been banged up on the play. We've got an injury timeout. It was Emmanuel Bien Aime who made the tackle. And as they tend to Johnny Myers, we'll take a break and try and sort this out. It will be 2nd and short from the 25-yard line as Bluefield and Warner all knotted up at 7 here in the second quarter. After the injury timeout, Johnny Myers helped off the field. We've got 2nd and 2 from the 5-yard line, and Witt will hand it off to Malik Brown, bursting up through the front 7 for a first down. Brings up 1st and 10 from the 22-yard line.
11. The result of the play is a Bluefield College.
Right on the out part, and it's working. And the handoff to as Warner, like they knew exactly what was coming that time.
I think they're sitting on the run now. We've completed the pass. We've had one pass for plus 15 yards. So I think they're going to try and go for the same strategy that we are on defense is make us beat them by throwing the ball.
See if Cason Witt can get it to his skill position players in some space as he'll work from the shotgun now on 2nd down and 10. There was no gain on that carry by Malik Brown. Witt barks it out. And he keeps it himself on the option and is lit up right away. William Bethel got in the backfield and hit him up top and dragged him down for the tackle for a loss.
I was praising him for his good read earlier. That quite clearly was not the correct read.
It looked like Bethel knew exactly what Witt was going to do on that time. I don't know if he was following his eyes or what, but shouldn't have held on to that one, that's for sure. It'll bring up 3rd and 15. Lost 5 yards.
And you got to think Bluefield's going to have to try and take a shot right here.
Tanner Griffith, the freshman kicker, has attempted 4 field goals, his long 32 yards. This would be a little bit longer than that if they kicked it from here. But meanwhile, it's dumped off underneath. Malik Brown, not enough for a first down. He's brought down around the 15-yard line, but good chunk of yardage, and that might make it a little bit more manageable for Tanner Griffith. And here comes the kicking unit.
Bluefield's got to come out of this drive with at least 3.
So Griffith 3 for 4 in attempted field goals, the freshman kicker who also plays for the soccer team. He's working double duty this fall. He will have a 32-yard attempt. The kick is up and from the left hash. He splits the uprights. It's good. Bluefield will take its first lead of the game.
Rams lead 10-7.
With 4:46 to go in the second quarter, it's now 10-7 Rams.
That was a heck of a drive by the Bluefield offense. Malik Brown comes in and once again shows that he wants to be the premier back on this team, and he's really shown it throughout this first half.
And honestly, if you can get both Brown and Martin going, kind of the thunder and lightning almost, with the power running style of Alex Martin and the quickness of Malik Brown when you get him in space.
Absolutely, and I'm still surprised that we have yet to see Rashad Butler in this ballgame. I'm not sure if he's not feeling great today or if he got a little banged up this week during practice, but those 2 running backs are doing a heck of a job for us. And like you said, they're very good contrasting styles of running the football. Complement
each other, and Rashad Butler, you mentioned the freshman, leads the team in carries with 43 entering play today, averaging about 4 yards a pop. He also has 9 catches, big part of the offense for Bluefield in the first 4 games, but here in the 5th game, yet to see the field. As the Rams now do lead 10-7, just under 5 minutes to play. At 4. So we'll put it in the air and end over end. That'll be fielded at the 3-yard line. With some blocking, trying the outside, and he'll go out of bounds. A late flag comes in as the return that time from Brian Musseline. But a late flag, and this one might be coming for some sort of a hold or a block in the back.
Been a lot of flags throughout this game so far.
Flag on the play.
That might be the understatement of the century. We'll wait on the call here.
Holding on the return, number 24.
And it will be a hold going against Warner.
First down.
Jameer Cosby, the offending party. So they'll bring it back to the 21-yard line. 1st and 10 for Warner. They'll get to work with DJ Davis. Four wide receivers, 2 split to either side. The running back is Bryant Benton. Davis looking to throw. Pumps, tucks, runs. Now he's going downfield. Got some separation, single coverage, and that one will be broken up by Devin Jackson. No flag on the play. A little bit of contact as that came down, but it'll work out for the Rams.
They saw the referee go to their belt and then just said no, incomplete. So we may or may not have gotten away with one there.
Didn't even look like Jackson quite could see the ball was coming to kind of hit him in the shoulder.
And that's one of the big signs that a referee looks for is if you're not looking back at the ball and you make contact, they know you're not playing the ball. So they usually they'll throw a flag for that.
Bluefield might have caught a little bit of a break there. It's 2nd and 10 now from the 21. This time the handoff. Benton, nothing doing. He's tackled from behind after a couple of yards.
Ryan Benton, the ball carrier for the Royals.
They'll bring up 3rd and about 8.
Down by Rams number 35.
Make it 3rd and 7 from the 24-yard line. I believe that was Dontavius Covington who made the tackle for Bluefield. Shotgun formation once again. with 13 on the play clock. Davis in no hurry. Rams show blitz. From the left hash, he's back to pass. Pressure, bottled up, down he goes. They got him again.
And they brought the house there, Brian. If he had 1 second to look, there was man coverage all over the board. I'm sure somebody was open, but both linebackers got there and ended up making the sack.
Tracy Parker Jr. the first to him. The defensive end got his big hand on that, and then a host of Rams cleaning it up. So 4th and 15, it'll be another 3 and out for Warner. And really in this second quarter, the defensive adjustments have worked. As a wobbling punt, that one's not going really anywhere. It'll bounce at the 42 and be downed right there. And the Rams once again will take over in Warner territory with 3 minutes and 8 seconds to go in the first half.
And it's gonna be fun to see this offense led by Kason Witt in this 3-minute situation. You don't necessarily have to throw every pass and speed up the game, but at the same time, if you once the clock starts winding down, you're going to have to start airing the ball out. But I expect them to start out with is to go back to the running backs that we've talked about thus far. And coming into the game now is Rashad Butler. We just mentioned him, and this is the first time we've seen him.
Guess we're the Summoners as the ball will be spotted at the 42-yard line. Butler is the running back to the left of Kason Witt. He gets the handoff, his first touch, and a flag flies in as Butler got about 3 or 4 yards on the carry. Started out on the ground, but we'll see what the call is. It came in pretty quickly. And the Bluefield Rams say it's against Warner.
Outside. Defense, number 55.
Offside is the call. Cameron Davis, the defensive end, must have lined up offside. 3:04 on the clock now, and the Rams will take the 5-yard penalty, 1st and 5 from the 37. Witt from the shotgun. He'll hand it off on the right side again. Butler gets the edge. Rashad Butler with flags flying in. He's tackled at the 31-yard line, but again, we'll wait on the call. That's would be enough for a first down.
14, Bruce Williams, the ball carrier.
Looks like it's going to be a hold or a block in the back.
Rams are starting to walk back towards the previous line of scrimmage. So it looks like this will go against Bluefield. Holding indeed against the Rams. Referee forgot to turn his microphone on, so don't know who it was called against, but it is against the Rams. Holding is the call. And Bluefield now will bring it back to the 41. It'll be 1st and 9. 2:52 on the clock. Ball's at the 41-yard line. Rams by 3. Back to pass. Witt on the draw. They'll give it to Rashad Butler, who is tackled after a couple of yards.
Bruce Williams, the ball carrier for the Rams.
William Bethel involved. Looked like the tackle was made by Matthew Simmons.
No flags on the play.
What a concept, right? 2nd and 7. Clock moves at 2:23. Witt back to pass. Looking downfield, he's got a man wide open. Oh, just out of the outstretched hands of Caden Mullins. Is that one the intended target, but out of his reach. And he had a man wide open there. Nobody covered Covington.
That was a great read and an incredible throw. I think that Covington just got a little bit.
That was exactly what Witt was looking for on that play. 3rd and 7 now from the 39 as the clock is stopped at 2:15 here in the second quarter. Witt to pass. Pressure. He steps up trying to make something out of it and gets about back to the line of scrimmage. So that'll bring up 4th down, and the Rams with that short field to work with, the great field position, getting the ball late here in the first half, unable to move the ball at all.
That's tough. I mean, penalties, not only do they mess you up field position-wise, but they also slow the pace of the game down. And with two offenses that don't want to huddle, that really throws a hitch in your plans.
So it looks like the Rams are going to let the play clock wind down as far as possible for bringing, maybe calling a timeout at the tail end of this. Only the linemen out on the field right now as believe that's what Dewey possible before he calls timeout. And indeed he will. So with 1:22 on the clock here late in the second quarter, the Rams with 4th and 8 from the 40 appear to be about ready to kick it away. As they take a break, we'll take one as well. Almost done with the first half here. 10-7 Bluefield, $1:22 to go. 4th down for the Rams when we return from Bluefield.
Offense, number 10. 5-yard penalty.
I beg your hold on. We're going to keep it right here as they take the delay of game. So not a timeout, and it looks like instead of calling a timeout, they're trying to get a little bit more room with which to work for Drake Presley. So he's not having to, is short of a field to punt. Now they rush the special teams out there. So we're keeping it right here as now Presley will put it in the air. A wobbling kick, and that one sails out of bounds, and probably not the way they drew it up.
No, I don't believe so. They've taken that delayed game penalty in the past, but it did look like Dewey Luss was talking to the referee, so I was on the same page with you. I thought they were calling a timeout.
Yeah, he was standing right next to him.
Yeah.
And then suddenly he just veers away. So, but the punt does sail out of bounds. They're going to spot it at the 30. So 1:16 to go in the second quarter. You know, 2 timeouts left for Warner. Sorry, Nick.
No, you're fine. Maybe that was drawn up. Luss was trying to catch Warner off guard, get them all together like it was a timeout, and then run out and try and kick the ball off real
He
quick.
faked us out anyway. Shotgun formation now for DJ Davis. He's going to keep it himself. Design quarterback run, only about a yard. He's met by the front 7 again, and they've bottled him up here in the second quarter. Play goes for a gain of 2. They'll spot it at the 32-yard line.
And, Brian, I'm not sure about you, but I don't see them taking a shot down the field with only 57 seconds left in this first half.
No, I'd be surprised if that's the way they're starting this drive. They do have 2 timeouts, but that also hasn't been their strong suit so far in this game.
Right.
Davis looking to pass. We stand corrected. Single coverage, and he overthrew his intended target. Jeff Suarez had a couple of steps behind the defense, but couldn't get to the football. Clock stops at 44 seconds, 3rd and 8. .44 seconds on the clock here in the second quarter now as they take one shot after running the football, and I think we're going to get out of the business dictating what the Warner offense is going to do here.
Right, they've gotten us a couple times in this first half.
Pistol formation now. Lindo is the tailback. He'll get the handoff and met after a gain of about 1. And Bluefield's going to take a timeout. So with 40 seconds, 10-7 here from Mitchell Stadium. 40 seconds to go in the first half. 10-7 Bluefield, and the Rams will send Johnny Myers back to return the punt. Jeunesse Kennedy May to kick it away. Pretty good kick. Myers will call for the fair catch at the 31-yard line. So with 34 seconds to go, Case and Witt in the offense will try and move the football quickly and give themselves a chance to extend the lead. 2 timeouts remain for the Bluefield offense, who has seemed to have found its rhythm. Although have been really controlling it on the ground. We haven't seen Witt really open it up too much. A couple of shots downfield that his downfield passes have looked decent, but we'll see about the quick strike offense now with only 34 seconds in the second quarter.
Right, I'm excited to see what they're going to do. They do have Alex Martin in the game, so they might just run it into the back line and let this clock run off. But We've been wrong before.
Martin's the running back to the right of Witt. Designed rollout to the right. Witt fires downfield. He's got a man, and that's complete. Antonio Strickland stepped out of bounds as he put it right on the money. That's across midfield out to the 46-yard line.
That was an incredible crossing route from Strickland right there. And a great way for Kaysen to get his shoulders square and really throw that ball with a little bit of force behind it.
29 seconds on the clock as it stops with him going out of bounds. Witt from the gun dumps it off to the right side. This is Alex Martin in a little bit of space. He'll run into the defense and out of bounds around the 40-yard line. Give him about 5 yards on first down, 2nd and 5.
Number 11.
Clock stops at 22. A couple of more chunks like that, you might be able to give Tanner Griffith a chance for a field goal here. Still do have 2 timeouts, so they can use the entire field. 3 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Witt looking to the right. Single coverage with Strickland. Went up and he pulled it in. What a catch by Antonio Strickland. Flag comes in at the tail end, but a big gain for the Rams. First down, Bluefield.
And that was a heck of a catch by Strickland with the defender draped all over him. That was an incredible play.
And I think it's going to be pass interference on the defense. 17 seconds on the clock as it stopped right now. And man, what a catch by Antonio Strickland. That's going to bring him inside the red zone. Chance to take a couple of shots into the end zone. And indeed, it is a pass interference call against the defense. Bluefield will decline the penalty. It's a first down and timeout Rams. We're going to keep it right here. What a play by Antonio Strickland going up to get that with, like you said, the defender all over him.
All over him. And that's one thing we highlighted before the game was the fact that Kaysen Witt can throw the football down the field with accuracy. So it's fun to see. He's had a couple balls go that he's thrown downfield that have looked really good, but just outside of the receiver's hands, and that one was a heck of a catch.
Strickland, who leads the team in yards per catch and total receiving yards. Couple of big plays on this drive. He's the big play threat, the freshman, number 21, who's back out there lined up at the bottom of your screen on the right side. It will be shotgun. 4 wide receivers now for Bluefield. Witt looking to the left, throwing for the end zone. He's got a man, and incomplete. Just missed his target into the left corner. That's going to bring 2nd and 10 with 12 seconds to go in the half.
I think, Brian, you have a chance to maybe run 2 quick plays and then get a field goal unit out there. Let's see how DLS wants to play it.
Again, still has 1 timeout left, so he can even dump it off underneath and just get what they can, see if one of his playmakers can be just that, someone who makes a play. Ball's at the 13-yard line. Witt breaks the huddle, works from the shotgun. 4 wide receivers. The running back, Martin, to his left. He's looking to pass. Witt has single coverage downfield. It's broken up. Incomplete in the end zone. Good coverage for Warner. I think it was Bruce Williams who broke it up.
Incompletions in the end zone. That have been 2 really good passes.
And that's going to be 3rd and 10 with 8 seconds to go. That last play took only 4 seconds for Bluefield. So it looks like they'll keep the offense out for one more shot. Dewey Lusk aggressive here, the first-year head coach. 12 on the play clock. Witt looking left. One more shot at the end zone. And that one will be incomplete. Overthrew it just a touch. There was pressure coming. 3 seconds to go on 4th and 10. And here comes the kicking unit for a 30-yard field goal attempt for Tanner Griffith.
And let's see if Bluefield can knock this through and go into halftime with a 6-point lead.
That'd be big for the Rams, who in that first quarter looked like they were being overmatched, but the defense has showed up in the second quarter, and Kaysen Witt has found his rhythm offensively running the show. The snap, the hold, the kick up for the 30-yard attempt, and he hooked it left, no good. Griffith just pulled that one off to the left, and that's going to bring us to the end of the second quarter. We've reached halftime. Bluefield fails to add to the lead going into the half, but they will take a 10-7 advantage going into halftime. Bluefield on top of Warner. We'll come back second with a recap of the first half. We'll also have a special guest with us at halftime. We'll come back with a halftime report in just a moment. Again, Bluefield leads 10-7 here at Mitchell Stadium. Here at halftime with a 10-7 lead for Bluefield over Warner University after 30 minutes of play, and we're joined now by the head men's basketball coach of Bluefield College. It's Richard Morgan joining us here at halftime. And Coach, entering your 9th season, how's the team looking?
Good, man. You know, it was good. I've been away from them for about 3 weeks, and now we're getting ready to get back at it. We'll crank this thing up tomorrow about 8 p.m. tomorrow night, and we'll just see where we stand, and we'll go from there. We'll have about a month to get ready for a game on November the 1st. So it looks really good for us going into that. We just really want to make sure we got everybody healthy and, you know, ready to go. And that's, you know, that's my job, is to have everybody ready. And, you know, our training staff does a good job of getting the guys back. So we got one guy out right now that we're kind of, you know, penciling in, but we got to get him healthy, and, you know, he understands he's got to sit back for a minute.
So with the first practice tomorrow night, do you have any of the old kind of first day of school jitters?
A little bit. You know, it's always the first day is always tough because there's a lot of talking, a lot of standing around, and I got to explain that to them that, you know, they're going to get a little tight by standing there. But we've got to get the little things out the way because they're going to make a big difference later on in the season. And, you know, I got a great group. They've worked hard while I was in Europe. They worked hard, and, you know, now I'm looking for them to come back and do some nice things for us.
You mentioned being in Europe. What were you doing over there?
I was over there recruiting. You know, we were successful over there as far as Bluefield College was concerned. We weren't successful every night on the scoreboard, but, you know, over there, Bluefield College did a good job as far as, you know, finding the guys, locating the guys that we need, that we want, that fit our program. And, you know, and not necessarily that it was the European kids, but we took an American team over to play in Norway, Scotland, and Wales. So we went over there and really, you know, did a good job, and, you know, had one of our former players make the team over there. So that was really nice to see. So, you know, I think it was a success all the way around for Bluefield College. I'm not so sure that USA Select was very successful, but, you know, we were successful in the kid get a job. You know, they may be getting calls for later jobs. So from that standpoint, I'm you know, it was a win-win. But, you know, Bluefield College really, we really strived in this one right here. And it was a good year for me. I went last year, but it was my first year. And it's tough your first year because you don't really know what's going on. You know, I kind of was feeling like the guys, you know. I didn't really know what train to take and all that. But this year I felt like a veteran. I was my second year, and, you know, we're looking forward to big things happening next year. We got to see Big Ben. We got to see the Parliament. We got to see all that stuff. So, you know, that part of it was fun and educational and all that. So, you know, I had a good time doing that. But, you know, the reason we went over there was a success in basketball.
We're joined by head men's basketball coach Richard Morgan here at halftime of the 10-7 Rams lead over the Royals of Warner University. And, Coach, last season you were telling me maybe a little bit disappointed with the overall result, but how much of a turnover from year to year do you have? Do you have a lot of guys coming back?
Yeah, I thought we did, but then around about the first day of school, or day before the first day of school, we lost a starter, a local kid, Tony Hood, and then we lost another kid, Isaiah Gill, who used to shoot the 3-ball for us. We lost him too. So, you know, I'm really looking forward to seeing exactly what these newcomers can do for us. And, you know, I think we got a good, you know, in our system, in our program, we move on to the next guy. We don't wait. You know, last year being a 13-18 season, very disappointing. I think the guys are kind of prepped and ready to know that we've got to, you know, turn this thing around quickly. And, you know, I think we brought in the right guys to do that. We brought about 40 kids in here. We got a JV program, so, you know, we got some really good guys for that. We got really good academic guys. So I'm looking forward to us making sure that all those things go well, and, you know, they get their academics, and then, you know, we win some ball games along the way.
Finally, Coach, before we let you go, what do you think of the first half of the football game?
Hey, man, I'm so excited. It's been a long time since we've seen a 10-7 lead in this stadium. So, you know, I think they're playing hard. They're doing the things they need to do to be successful. Then they just got to make a couple plays here and there and stop them from making plays. They're very athletic, though. Warner is very athletic, but I think we've matched coached them since that first possession. They went all the way down. I think we kind of held them at bay.
It's been a lot of fun to watch. Been fun talking to you here at halftime. Enjoy the practice, the season start tomorrow. Best of luck to you this year. Thanks for joining us at halftime.
Thanks so much, and thanks for having me.
That's
and
Richard.
go Rams.
All right, that's Richard Morgan, the head men's basketball coach. We're going to come back with a first half recap. Bluefield leads Warner 10-7 here from Warner Stadium, from Mitchell Stadium. Here at the half, it's a 10-7 lead for Bluefield over Warner. The Rams, who got behind 7-0 after the first quarter, came back in the second half and really started to control the football. Brian Gardner filling in for Bailey Angle today. And Nick Ratliff here as always. And Nick, just thoughts from that first half. It kind of seemed like the tale of two quarters.
Absolutely. The first quarter, DJ Davis really dominated our defense, especially our defensive line. But coming out in that second quarter, our defensive line and linebackers, they started getting pressure. Our DN started getting up the field, not allowing him to have room to bootleg off those play-action passes, and we looked incredible.
The Rams, in the second quarter, defensively battling up Davis, like you mentioned, and also starting to move the football. And it looked like Kason Witt was getting a little bit more comfortable, and the rushing attack, really all the running backs kind of started to get in the mix. Alex Martin, Malik Brown, and Rashad Butler at the very end.
Right, and something that Bailey and I and you and I, Brian, talked about before the game was chemistry with receivers. And Kason Witt, in the short time, well, the only half he's played this season, has seemed to develop that. And he's putting his passes where his receivers thinks they're going to be in, and he looks really good.
We speculated before the game that we might see both quarterbacks in the game for Bluefield, as Walter Harold not starting due to an unspecified violation of team rules. But with the way the offense has worked with Kason Witt, would you be surprised to see him just stay in the ball game?
No, I think he should stay in. I would be extremely surprised to see Walter Harold come back out in the second half. I think Kason Witt has played a heck of a game, managing the game and realizing what lanes are open and not forcing passes was a big point that he did very well in the first half.
The Rams had a chance to add to their lead at the tail end, but a 30-yard field goal was hooked and missed by Tanner Griffith. Griffith does have a 32-yarder to his credit that gave the Rams the 10-7 lead. Again, it's Bluefield leading Warner 10-7. We'll be back in a few minutes with the second half action. 10-7 Bluefield here at Mitchell Stadium. Almost time to start it up for the second half here from Bluefield. The Rams lead the Warner University Royals by a score of 10-7. Happy to have you back with us. I'm Brian Gardner. He's Nick Ratliff. This is Bluefield College football. Thanks for tuning in today. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast. It's been a good football game so far. We're ready for the second half of action. It'll be Warner to get the football first as the Rams put it in the air, and that will be fielded at the 10-yard line. And with a little bit of space to the outside, tackle made at the 31. And that's where Warner will start its first drive of the second half. And Nick, the Royals in that first half, it was a tale of two quarters like we talked about at a halftime. Great rushing totals in the first quarter, nothing doing in the second quarter.
Right, and that first to second quarter adjustment was incredible from the booth to the field. So I'm curious to see what our defensive coordinator got through in the locker room with his guys when he had 20 minutes to explain what he wants. I think that this is going to be a big first series for our defensive line.
3 down linemen. DJ Davis will work from the shotgun as whistle blows for some reason. Now they're going to start it up. There's the clock winding down at the play clock at 13 now. Davis from the pistol. He'll play fake back to pass, looking downfield. Jitterbugs his way to the right, and Davis throws incomplete. Receiver might have been bumped there. Trage McClary, the intended target, broken up by the Bluefield secondary.
And that's a big improvement weeks prior from our secondary is those scramble drills. The opposing quarterbacks have always seemed to find somebody open. That time we stuck with them and made a great play on the ball.
15, McClary.
So Davis, who in that first half, the passing numbers weren't great for him. As he'll work from the shotgun with an empty backfield. It was just 6 for 11 for 26 yards. Handoff on the left side. No, he'll keep it himself, and Davis sprinting forward through the front 7. He's going to get about 8 that time, showing that burst, and that's what he was doing so effectively in the first.
And this is the situation Warner wants to be put in, second and third and short. That's what they want. Their offense is not designed to go pretty much past 7 yards. They want to get 3 to 4 yards in a cloud of dust, get up and do it again.
3rd and 2 from the 38. Empty backfield. They send a man in motion, and it will be a handoff on the right side to Benton. Turns the corner. Looks like he's got enough for the first down. So Bryant Benton, the tailback, was lined up as a slot receiver. He came across in motion, and that was the option. He gave it to him on the handoff, and enough for first down yardage.
And that's something we didn't see much in the second quarter, was a lot of that motion reads, motion jet sweeps. So let's see if that's something that they're going to want to stress coming into the second half.
Just over 1 minute gone here in the third quarter as they're moving the football now, they being the Royals of Warner. From the 41, handoff Benton, right side. Steps over a couple of defenders and got an extra surge there for a gain of about 5 yards.
Number 5, Brian Benton, ball carrier for the Royals.
Ball spots at the 47-yard line, 2nd and 5 now. Winbush made the tackle. For the Rams as a pass out to the left side. That's complete. McClary on the screen, and with enough space, he moves forward for a gain of about 7 yards and a first down, and suddenly here comes the Warner offense getting the mojo back like it had in the first quarter.
Absolutely, and it looked like left tackle Deshaun Oliver had a little bit of a head start right there, but not enough to draw a flag.
Empty backfield this time, 4 wide receivers. A tight end on the line for Warner. Man in motion once again. That same play, this time the keeper, and a great tackle made in the backfield. It was DeMarcus Winbush who came in to make the shoestring stop. They're going to lose a yard on that first down carry.
And that's exactly the defense that we want, is we want penetration up the middle. A quarterback can deal with penetration to the outsides. Well, not penetration, but pressure to the outsides. But if you're coming right up in his face, he has no time to look down the field, and he can't run anywhere.
12:43 on the clock, third quarter. 2nd and 11, 44-yard line. That's where the ball is spotted. Davis looking to throw, pump fake, pressure, gets away. Now he's going downfield for single coverage. It's tipped and incomplete. Broken up downfield by Bluefield. That'll bring up 3rd and long. Good coverage by the Rams.
If I was Warner, I'd be looking to the one weak spot that we've seen thus far throughout the game is the middle of that Bluefield secondary. They've been able to complete some passes over the middle for decent gains.
They found the soft spot a handful of times. That's absolutely right. 3rd and 11. Clock stops at 12:25. Davis in no hurry. Both of these teams go no huddle all of the time. From the shotgun with 4 wide receivers and a running back. Designed rollout. Davis is going to keep it himself. Davis has the edge and not going to be enough for a first down as he tried to squirt his way forward, but he was forced out of bounds by the Bluefield defense. It'll bring up 4th and about 4.
And could this be 4-down territory for Warner?
It's possible at this part of the field, especially since they've been able to pick up some yardage so far on this drive that started back deep in their own territory. I'd really consider it. It looks like the offense is going to stay out there.
Absolutely.
They're going to spot it at the 39. I thought he got a little farther than that.
Yeah, I did too. That was a generous spot for Bluefield's way.
It'll be 4th and about 6 yards. Ball's at the 39. They need between the 34 and the 33.
Looks like we'll bring some pressure.
Davis throws incomplete. Maybe some miscommunication as he fired it out for Suarez, looking like he was hoping for a button hook, and Suarez was still going. So they'll turn it over on downs, and the Rams will take over at their own 39-yard line.
That's a big stop to come out of the half and be able to stop a team. That's something that we've struggled with this season. So once again, another great way to start a half.
Defense looking good, still holding the Royals to just 7 points so far. That was on the initial drive. Now here comes the offense for the first time in the second half. Case and Witt will go under center in an I formation. Hand off to the tailback, and nothing doing there for Malik Brown. He might have got back to the line of scrimmage, no more than that. Call it 2nd and 10.
We'll find Malik Brown, the ball carrier for the Rams. No gain on the play, 2nd and 10.
Rams offense trying to get the play call from the sideline, and Whittle set him up in a shotgun formation. He's got 2 backs with him. Play fake, throws over the middle, and that's caught. Spinning away from one tackler, Charles Black makes the play. He's out to about the 50-yard line. That looks to be enough for a Bluefield.
That's something we haven't seen much of. That's a great play-action pass, especially after how Malik Brown dominated that first half running the football. Faking it to him and hitting a quick little pass like that seems to work.
11:06 to go and counting down 3rd quarter. Bluefield starting to move the football now here in the 3rd quarter. Witt hands it off. Brown up the middle, and he spun from one tackle. A nice little push up there. He found the seam that he needed. 6 yards on the carry for Brown, who's looked strong in this ball game. It's 2nd and 4 from the 43.
2nd and 4.
Now he tries the left side, and not much for Brown this time. Might have got a yard. It'll bring up 3rd and 3 or 4. Looks like he'll spot this one at still the 43-yard line, so no gain on the play, 3rd and 4. And again, this is kind of that weird area of the field that we just saw Warner stall in. So, Nick, you think this might be 4-down territory for Bluefield as well, or if they don't pick this up, or maybe try to pin it deep?
With the way our defense has been playing, I wouldn't be surprised to see a punt.
Brown trying to make that not necessary as he's tripped up on the play and falls down around 1st down territory. Out across the 40, and looks like it's going to be just short. Got 3 yards on a 3rd and 4 play, and the Rams are bringing the offense to the line. Witt under center and some movement, and that's going to be a false start, I believe.
Yeah, that's tough. That's one of those situations you want to get the snap off so quick, but at the same time, Bluefield could have been trying to draw Warner off sides and maybe some miscommunication between his quarterback.
That's exactly what I was wondering when they actually came out to the line after looking over just quickly to the sideline. Maybe it was Witt trying to get him on a hard count, but it's going to be a false start. It's now 4th and 6, and here comes the punting unit. Drake Presley's been off and on in this game. A couple of good punts and a couple that really his best as they send 2 back to return once again. yard line between the 10 and the Warner offense deep to start their second possession of this half.
And Warner's had some pretty bad luck with starting out field position. They've been lucky to get outside of their own 20 to start a drive.
9:20 to go here in the third quarter. The ball, they'll call it the 10-yard line. That's where the offense will start here for the Royals, who, as Nick mentioned, have been pinned deep often really since that first quarter when the offense hasn't shown nearly as much. First possession looked pretty good for them in the third before they turned it over on downs. DJ Davis from the pistol, 3 wide receivers. Rolls out to his left. Davis will be forced out of bounds and runs into a couple of cheerleaders. Look out over there. Large men coming through.
On the keeper.
That's another thing we haven't seen much of since that first quarter where they were so dominant is just straight quarterback designed runs.
That was absolutely a designed run, and he got 4 yards off of it. Looks like the cheerleaders are still talking about that terrifying moment.
They must have seen their life flash before their eyes.
2nd and 6 from the 14. Motion. Davis going to the right side, and that one's complete. Over the middle, it's caught for a first down, and a gang tackle as the Rams swarming to the ball. Be enough for first down yardage.
There's that soft spot of that Rams defense once again.
So we'll get first down yardage and move the chains, and just like Nick mentioned, that's been what works for Warner, going over the middle. 8:35 and counting down. Davis, play fake, rolls to his right, he dumps it off, that's complete. Found his tight end, and it's forced out of bounds. It's not going to be first down yardage, got about 5.
Complete.
We'll call it 2nd and 6. Ball moves out to the 28-yard line. 8 minutes to play, third quarter. We've lost 7 here in the second half. Bluefield by 3. Davis hands it off to his tailback, Lindo, and flag thrown in at contact there after a gain of about 1 or 2 yards, and it looks like this one might come back.
It was a very quick flag on a very quick play.
It just looked like a normal tackle, and
Yeah,
suddenly the official was throwing the flag at them.
Yeah, it was an odd place, too.
On the
But
offense. Number
A holding is the
73.
call.
10-yard penalty. Replay second
Jeremy
down.
Taylor, the center, is the one called for it. So they'll march him back 10 yards. 2nd and 13. Ball spots at the 20 on the far hash mark. DJ Davis from the shotgun, senior quarterback for Warner University. Play fake. Here's pressure. Davis over the middle, and that's caught. He's got his man, the tight end, Justin Jackson, taken down on the play. Got a decent gain of about 9 yards. It won't be enough for a first down.
Justin Jackson.
They'll spot it at the 31-yard line. They need the 33. 3rd and 2.
it's a big play early in this half for this Bluefield defense.
Trying to get the right personnel in, shuttled them in and out for the Rams. 3 down linemen and 1 upright on the right end. Designed run, Davis, he found the hole, spin move, and there he goes. DJ Davis down the sideline, tackled by the shoestrings right around the 35-yard line. And for a second there, it looked like he was gone.
That was an incredible spin move to help him gain about 30 extra yards right there. That was great blocking by that Warner offensive front, and just he took off.
6:42 and counting down. Here in the third quarter, 10-7 Rams. Warner knocking at the door once more. Davis from the shotgun. He'll hand it off. Nothing doing on that carry for Lindo. Got a couple of yards on the play, nothing more than 1 or 2.
For 20, Jerome Linda.
Second and 9. They'll spot it at the 33.
Brought down by number 54, DeMarcus Winbush.
And after that big third down run, that's exactly what the Bluefield defense needed, is a negative play or one for not that much.
Right, and get him back in that second and third long situations.
6 minutes to play in the third quarter. Davis tried a hard count. Now he will play fake, roll to his left. That's complete. Justin Jackson met with some contact right around the 25-yard line. Looks like he's just short of first down yardage.
Number 15, Justin Jackson.
And Brian, that was a play that we saw a lot in that first quarter. Was a rollout, but he only had one receiver going on a route to the side that he was rolling out on. Now with Bluefield bringing that defensive end in and pressuring the quarterback, they're dropping a tight end and a fullback out into that flat, and it's wide open.
So some adjustments made at halftime there for Warner to give their quarterback a little bit more with which to work. Lining up in a heavy formation on 3rd and 1, handoff, and that looks like it's going to be enough for a first down, as they gave it off there to Jameer Cosby. The big fullback got about 2 or 3 yards for the first down.
Jameer Cosby, the ball carrier. Brought down by number 11.
So at this point of the field here, Nick, will this be pretty big to try and hold them here and make it a longer field goal attempt and definitely not get them down towards the end zone?
Yeah, absolutely. We cannot let them score. We need to bend but not break, as you mentioned earlier in the game. That's exactly what we need right now.
Under 5 minutes now at 4:55. Davis on a designed run. Flags fly as he breaks one tackle and almost got free of the second one. He'll be downed for a loss in the backfield. 2 flags came in on the play, though.
I believe it was offsides before the play started.
We'll wait for the officials to sort it out, as, again, 2 officials did throw their flags. Wait for the call.
Outside. Defense. Number 16. 5-yard penalty. Replay first down.
Offsides on the Rams from up front, and they'll replay first down now at 1st and 5 from the 19. 4:44 and counting down, third quarter. Bluefield holds on to that field goal lead, 10-7. Davis taking a peek over to the sideline now with 7 on the play clock. Pressure coming. He fires into the slot, and that's complete, but for no more than about 1 yard. Good tackle on the play.
TJ Davis is pass, caught by number 81. Tackled by number
2nd and
46,
5
Michael
now.
Everett.
Michael Everett gets credit for the tackle.
I'm just trying to Warner's come out with virtually the same offense, just a couple of minor adjustments that they've made at half, and it seems to be working very, very well.
2nd and 5. Clock reads 3:52. Davis throws into single coverage, almost pulled in. Jeff Suarez got just enough separation to go up and get his hands on that, but he couldn't pull it in. It'll bring up 3rd down.
There have been some pretty good physical battles on the outside today between receivers and corners, and that one he got himself some separation, just could not haul it down, as you said.
3:48 to go as the clock is stopped. 3rd and 5 from the 19. Big spot here for the Bluefield defense to hold him to a field goal attempt. Davis will spread it out wide. Empty backfield. Send a man in motion, and he'll keep it himself on the option. Davis cuts to the outside, but he's taken down after a gain of about 1 or 2 yards. He's going to be well short of first down yardage, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Davis on the keeper.
I'm not sure if the kicker knew what down it was. I just saw him sprint all the way down the sideline to his kicking net to pick up his helmet.
So we'll see if rushing himself out there maybe affects it at all. Janess Kennedy May is only 1 for 4 on field goal attempts this year. The one he has made is a 44-yarder. As that kick is up, and it is good. He bangs it through. The 34-yard field goal is good, and the game is tied. Janess Kennedy May ties it up with a 34-yard field goal from the right hash, and we're all square at 10. 3:11 to play in the third quarter, and Bluefield will send the offense back out for its second possession, and suddenly the defense, which had been so dominant in the second quarter, Seems like some adjustments made on them, and the Warner offense might have its swagger back. But impressive, Nick, that the defense not let them get anything further after they got to right on the fringe of the red zone.
Right after that big run by the quarterback, that was great to only hold it to 3 points instead of 7 and still just make this a 0-0 ball game again.
So see if the offense can't get its momentum going once again with that running game that was so good in the second quarter for Bluefield. Kennedy May out to kick it deep. Bluefield sends 2 back to return, Malik Brown and Jeff Hughes. 2 playmakers in the red jerseys. It'll be Hughes to take it from the 5-yard line. Hughes tries center field, and he's tripped up and lunging forward towards about the 26-yard line, and the Rams will take over there.
And I wouldn't be surprised if Casey Witt comes out firing on all cylinders this drive, and they let him throw the ball and try and toss it around.
Is that what you'd like to see, some more pass attempts here in this drive?
I would like to. He looked very good in that in the closing moments of the second quarter, putting balls on the money, just receivers coming up just a little bit short with a little bit of contact. But I would like to see him try and air it out. Some quick slants off play action have worked very well, so I think we could see some of that.
Did make some big plays with Antonio Strickland that put them within field goal range on the missed attempt at the end of the first half. Here's the handoff, and this is going to be the freshman Butler. Made one man miss, broke a tackle, and he's upended at the 40.
The 14 received Butler, the ball carrier.
Raheem Phillips is celebrating like he made a huge play, but it was at the end of a 14-yard run.
Price.
At the 40-yard line. Sometimes perspective's needed.
Yes, no, I agree. I've seen quite a bit of that this season, and it's almost comical.
1st and 10. And on the option, probably the wrong decision. Kason Witt holds on to it, and he's tackled for a big loss. Lost about 6 yards on the play, or they're going to say 5, and spotted at the 35-yard line. 2nd and 15.
And that's something with not having Walter Herod in the game I was mentioning earlier. How is this offensive scheme going to change? And some of those read options that have gone for negative plays, just not exactly Kason Witt's type of game.
2:17 on the third quarter clock. Witt back to pass. Dumps it off on a screen, and that was a little tall for its intended target, Butler, who leapt and got his hands on it but couldn't quite pull it in. It'll be 3rd and 15 now.
Number 14 falls incomplete.
And this is a spot, 3rd and very long, that Bluefield just has not excelled in this year. It's a hard spot for any football team to excel in.
In that sack or tackle for a loss off the read option has really put him in a hole here. You'd like to give your defense a little bit longer on the sideline. Witt on a rollout. Throws downfield, and that's caught. It will be short of first down yardage at about the 43, 44-yard line. So picked up about 8 yards, it looks like, on the play.
Casey Witt's pass.
And here comes the punting unit. So the offense, not a complete 3-and-out. They picked up the first down on the 14-yard run on the first play, but after that, nothing doing, and they'll kick it back to Warner. And the defense was just at the tail end of a long possession. It's going to have to get back out there on the field. 1:46 on the clock as Drake Presley's out to kick it away. Junior punter puts it in the air. Pretty good kick. This is fielded on the move by Suarez, and he is stood up at the 32-yard line. And hey, look at that, a flag in at the end of the play.
Oh, wow. What
a concept.
It's been a relatively quick pace here through this third quarter because of how clean the game has been.
We'll take a look at what the call is going to be here.
Flag on the play.
With 1:33 to play here in said third quarter.
On the return, a block in the back.
And a block in the back. This will go against Warner, so that's going to push the Royals offense 10 yards further back. And a break for the Bluefield defense. Like the ball will be spotted around the 24-yard line, and that's where Warner will take over. Again, fairly deep in its own territory, and the Bluefield defense, which gave up some big plays on the previous drive, you have to get back to work and hope for a quick stop here.
And we'll see how the adjustments that Warner have made, and we'll see how we can adapt to that and start covering those plays a little bit better.
1st and 10 from the 24. Empty backfield for DJ Davis. We've seen a lot of motion from the slot on this, and that's exactly what they do. Flips it there to Benton, and Bryant Benton made one man miss and got across the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Number 5, Bryant Benton, the ball carrier.
A little frustration in the backfield. I believe that was
56, Andre Evans.
Tyrese Henry up from safety, who almost had him for a loss, and instead he just got his towel and threw it down in frustration. Seen a lot of that from the Bluefield's defense, bringing the safeties up on some blitzes.
Absolutely, and that's something you got to do with a team that's run this well and only hit you for some deep passes 1 or 2 times.
Yeah, they really haven't been that aggressive going downfield, and when they have, they haven't connected. Davis from the gun, slings it out to the right side. That's complete, and looked like potentially a holding call, but that one's going to be not called. It will be a first down on the completed pass out to the right side.
Result of the play is a first down.
Got it to his slot receiver, who squirted forward out across the 40 to the 42-yard line. Looked like the cornerback in the slot was tripped up from behind for Bluefield, but no call. 1st and 10 from the 42. 35 seconds to go in the quarter, and movement on the line. That's going to be a false start.
Flag on the play.
You know, if you could single one player out on that, it seemed like pretty much everybody but the center went. You wonder if maybe they had the snap count wrong.
But it looks like they're pointing towards us.
Yeah, Warner is saying this is going to be on Bluefield. From up here, it looked like the entire line, save for the center, moved. Seemed like a pretty clear-cut false start, but we'll wait for the call from the crew.
Before the defender enters the neutral zone, false start, number 82, offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
So indeed it is a false start against Warner. They're saying, though, that the defender entered the neutral zone after that. So that's what Warner was pointing about, saying a neutral zone infraction. 1st and 15 for the 37-yard line.
This is not a spot Warner wants to be in with the style that they play.
From the gun, DJ Davis. Yard count. Now he'll sling it complete. Got a gain of a couple of yards as that one was fired out to Omari Price.
DJ Davis' pass is caught by number 2, Price. Brought down by number 4.
4 yards on the play, 2nd and 11 now, and that's likely going to bring us to the end of the 3rd quarter. Just 5 seconds on the clock as it winds down. They're not going to bother running one more play until it hits 0. We've got 15 more minutes of this ball game. It's a good one, all tied. 10-10 between Bluefield and Warner. Back with the 4th quarter in just a moment here from Bluefield.
7650 is the 50-50 ticket winner.
15 minutes to go in this game as we begin the fourth quarter. Warner with the football, spotted on the 41-yard line. DJ Davis will work out of the shotgun. And Bluefield with 3 down linemen up front and showing pressure from the linebackers creeping up. Tie ball game here at 10. Trying the hard count, Davis on the rollout to the right side. Designed run here as Hill scored out of bounds at around the 46-yard line. He picked up 5 yards. That's going to bring up third and not short.
I would look. Warner has not wanted to throw the ball down the field whatsoever, but they've had good success with the short hitches, short slants. So in a situation like this, I would see them go for that and try and pick up a couple extra yards on the ground after the catch.
And Davis on the designed run has been pretty darn effective as well. 3rd and 6 after he just picked up 5 on 2nd and 11. From the gun. Some noise from the Bluefield fans. Davis back to pass. Pressure, trying to get away, and he can't. Swallowed up in the backfield. Tracy Parker Jr.'s got his 2nd sack of the game. That'll be 4th down.
That is a huge play and a momentum swing, as they're going to have to kick, and we should get pretty decent field position out of this. That was a heck of a drive from our Bluefield defense.
So the Rams with a good stop there on 3rd and 6 as Davis didn't really have anywhere to go with it, and Parker in the backfield swallowing him up, and now it'll be Johnny Myers back deep to return the punt. Kennedy May puts it up. Myers lets it bounce, and this will not be a return as it's going to be touched around the 27-yard line. I think that the 2-yard line, I beg your pardon, and that's where the Rams will take over. 14:02 on the clock in the game. After a disappointing series the last time Bluefield had the football, it's the second half. The offense hasn't quite gotten into rhythm, but they'll bring it back out once again with Kason Witt. Redshirt junior quarterback from Fredericksburg. Chance to put his team ahead with a good sustained drive here. Hands it off, Alex Martin. Martin found the hole. The ball comes out at the end of the run, and that's a fumble. Warner says they have it, and hold the phone. They're going to say that it was not a fumble and that the Bluefield ball carrier Martin was down. It looked to me like that came out early. I thought even I saw the beanbag fly.
The linesman seems pretty confident, so we might have a lengthy conversation here between our officials.
I could have sworn I saw one of them throw their beanbag to indicate a ball on the ground. It looks like it is out. But the linesmen say no, and Bluefield's going to keep the football. Wow.
That's a huge break for Bluefield. We have to capitalize off of that.
Martin, to me, from up here, it looked pretty clear. But like you said, the linesman confident in it, and he's able to convince his cohorts out there in the striped shirts. And now Martin will get it again. Alex Martin pushes the pile near 1st down yardage.
Alex Martin, the ball carrier.
3rd and 1. Ball out to the 32-yard line now. Martin gets it once more. Into the secondary, there he goes. Oh no, he was tripped up. Alex Martin almost was free, but a shoestring tackle brings him down around the 46-yard line, but a good couple of runs after that fumble washed out, and it's 1st down Bluefield.
2 and 14.
They're trying to move it again. Flag in the air just as it was snapped as Martin tries the right side and got a few yards. We'll see what the call is. Almost looks like they were able to see something in the Warner defense that they wanted to keep moving there. Maybe caught him off guard in the middle of a substitution.
Right, I think that this D linemen are starting to get really tired, and the pace for Bluefield's actually picked up, not giving Warner a chance to substitute those big fellas up front.
on the
Well,
offense.
illegal motion is going to be the call on Bluefield, so maybe they were rushing a little bit too much there.
Replay first down.
So the replay first down after a 5-yard penalty brings it back to the 41-yard line.
And this is where Bluefield has struggled. After a penalty on a drive, they have just seemed to fall flat. They need to come back here and pick up some yardage and get back to that first down.
12 minutes, 52 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. Tie game at 10. Handoff Martin. Nothing doing. He lost a yard. Only got back to the 40. So suddenly, what looked like a really good drive where they're getting just gobs of yards on every carry. Now the Rams with a 2nd and 16.
And we're going to have to see Casey Witt air the ball out.
Warner a little late getting its personnel on the field. Witt back to pass. Looking downfield, single coverage, and he overthrew it. It's intercepted. But there was a flag on the play, and it looked like it might be defensive pass interference. Raheem Phillips with some contact. It was Antonio Strickland, the intended target downfield, and it looks like that one's going to go the way of the Rams.
Pass interference.
That is a huge break. That ball was overthrown.
15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
He likely didn't need to push off to be able to have a chance at that ball.
Right.
Of course, we've seen Strickland go up and get a couple of balls, including back in the second quarter, but even still, that'll move the Rams up to the 45-yard line in Warner territory. 1st and 10, Malik Brown. Give him 2 yards, just plunging up the middle.
Number 5, Malik Brown, the ball carrier.
Clock winding at 12:05.
Royal defenders.
Fourth quarter here in Bluefield.
Brings up 2nd down.
They'll spot the ball at the 43-yard line. Witt has the play called, and he's set from the gun. Handoff on the sweep to the right side. Brown cuts it upfield. He's near first down yardage, out to about the 36-yard line. It looks like he needs the 35 for a first down. That was a gain of about 7.
And Malik Brown is by far not our biggest running back on this roster, but he hits the line of scrimmage with a lot of force.
Just 5'5", weighs in at just over 150 pounds. But he's shifty and he hits that hole quick. Brown trying the outside. No chance. 3 Royals met him there. It's going to be a loss.
We're back into the 4-down territory conversation.
Still a lot of time in this fourth quarter at 11 minutes and 1 second. But it looks like the offense stayed on the field. They lost yardage on what was a 3rd and 2, back to a 4th and 3, and no, they're bringing the punting unit out. Drake Presley has been busy.
Drake Presley on the punt for the Rams.
He's the punter for the Rams, and he's going to try and pin him deep and see if the defense can't get a quick stop. Maybe set the offense up with a short field. Play the field position game at this point of the game. 10.5 minutes to go and counting.
Oh.
As there's a whistle just as that terrible snap happened way over the head.
Delay of game.
The punter Presley, and
Delay of game.
there it is. It's.
Offense.
Have you found that something that Dewey Lusk wants to take the delay of game penalty there? We saw him do it on purpose towards the end of the first half.
Right. I think between the 50 and the 40 of their opponent, that's not a bad place to take a delay of game penalty. You get to run the extra time off the clock. Along with you give this punter that's averaging right around 40 yards a punt a little bit more room to work with.
High snap again. Puts this one high in the air, and this will be a fair catch called for and made at the 19-yard line. So a 10:21 to go in the fourth quarter. The Royals offense will take over at the 19.
Punt. Go for a fair catch by number 6, Jeff Suarez.
Make that the 14-yard line, not the 19-yard line. That's where they'll spot it.
Correct, 14.
10:21 to go. DJ Davis will be under center. Haven't seen much of this today. Play fake. He's rolling out to the right, looking to pass. Now he's going to try and run it, and he's forced out of bounds Might lose a yard on that one, right around the 13, maybe the 14-yard line.
DJ Davis on the keeper for the Royals.
That's yet another great adjustment from this Bluefield College defense. We've seen that roll out. Two different variations of it today. One with just that single receiver going deep, and a second one with a tight end or a fullback coming out into the flat. And both worked for a while, but Bluefield adjusting there, having the receiver covered along with the tight end going out into the flats.
Call it 2nd and 11, 10:03 to play here in the fourth quarter. Ball's at the 13-yard line. Davis looking to pass, pump fake, and now he's going to try and run it. Sprinting to his left, DJ Davis downfield. That's caught just around the 30-yard line. Pass is complete, and they get a big chunk. Looks like that's Suarez. Beg your pardon, Theo Hammonds, number 8, making the catch.
I was wondering when we were going to see him. He's a very tall receiver, standing at about 6'3". I figured he would be a bigger threat in this game than we've seen thus far.
It's been quiet for most of the game, entering play as the team's leading receiver with 7 catches. As he pulls in that one to pick up the first down, it's 1st and 10 from the 30. Davis keeps it on the option, gets 1 yard, good tackle. Good penetration there from the front 7. Looks like
DJ Davis on the keeper.
the Rams able to keep him for only a gain of about 1 yard. Andre Evans making the tackle. 2nd and 9 from the 31. Davis barks it out, 9:05 on the clock, fourth quarter. Throws complete, not much. His Price is brought down at about the 34-yard line. Short gain's going to 3rd down now. 3rd and 5, they need the 40. Ball spotted at the 35-yard line.
Bobby McBride brings up 3rd down.
Bobby McBride, the tackler on that play.
I would look for one of those quick hitches that they've tried to hit on these 3rd and 5 situations. Have not quite yet connected on it, but I wouldn't be surprised if they go back to it.
Under 8.5 minutes now, 8:27 the clock reads. Davis tried the hard count, and a whistle and a timeout has been called by Rod Schaefer and the Warner University Royals. We're going to take it with them, 8:23 to play in the fourth quarter. Tie game 10-10 here in Bluefield from Mitchell Stadium. Third and 5 for Warner. Ball's at the 35-yard line. 8:23 to play here in the fourth quarter. It's a tie game, 10-10. DJ Davis from the shotgun. Low snap. He's looking to pass. Pressure coming. Can they bottle him up? Yes, sir. Brought down for a loss. It's going to be a sack for the Rams. Brought him down at around the 34-yard line.
Brought down by number 76, Bobby McBride.
Bobby McBride got him again.
Number 6, Tracy Parker. And number 54.
So they lose a yard on 3rd and 5.
Brings up 4th down.
And now as the clock winds under 8 minutes, Bluefield's going to get the football back with a chance for a game-winning drive.
Let's see if Johnny Myers can start that drive off right with a good punt return right here.
Freshman receiver back to return the kick. It's a high spiraling punt, and fair catch is called for around the 25-yard line. Pretty good kick from Jeunesse Kennedy May.
Fair call by number 13, Johnny Myers.
So the Bluefield offense will take over at the 25.
College will start first
Deep in
and
its
10
own territory, and Nick
25-yard
here
line.
with 7 minutes and 33 seconds left What are you expecting? Maybe some of the run game and try and get a long drive to take that lead?
Absolutely. I think we're going to see a lot of Malik Brown, a lot of Alex Martin, who have both excelled throughout this game. Malik Brown more in the first half and Alex Martin in the second half as we've seen him trot out there. I think that we're going to see a lot of run attempts unless we get stuck in those 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6 situations.
Alex Martin is the running back in the shotgun here. 2 tight ends on the left. He's looking to pass. Single coverage downfield and a lot of contact. Both looked like they were pushing off on each other. The defender, Raheem Phillips, out there, who got flagged for a big pass interference play on the last drive. That's incomplete, I believe, intended for Strickland.
Pass falls incomplete.
Seems like everything that I suggest, it's the exact opposite. But
2nd and 10 from the 25 now. It looked like that's what the Warner defense was expecting as well, though, especially out of this formation. Now the handoff, it's Martin. Given those legs moving, he's out towards the 30. Gain of 4, maybe 5. The tackle made by a host of Royals. They'll spot it at the 29-yard line, gain of 4, 3rd and 6.
It's a 3rd and 6.
A 3 and out here would be the exact opposite of what the Rams would be hoping for, but the offense hasn't been moving the football much here in the second half. Witt looking to pass. Goes downfield. He's got a man open, but he overthrew him. That was intended for Johnny Myers. Safety coming over the top. Matthew Simmons made it a little bit more difficult.
We've seen some of those deeper passes downfield today from both Witt and Davis be overthrown, maybe a little overzealous or just getting rid of the ball too early.
So a 3 and out for the Rams. 6:47 to go in the 4th quarter. The game is tied at 10. And just like that, Drake Presley back out to kick it deep once again. Suarez deep to return. Good kick. It'll back him up. At the 31, he fields it and tripped up around the 40.
Drake Presley's punt is returned by number
Got about
6,
9 yards on the return, and they'll take over with pretty good field position for the Royals. So a tough test for the Bluefield defense.
This is not the most ideal spot for Bluefield where you want Warner starting their drive, especially with 6 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock. They have time for that slow 3 to 4 yard play running offense, and this is a good spot if you're Warner, and this is where you want to be.
6:36 on the clock, 4th quarter, 10-10 game. 3 timeouts remain for Bluefield, 2 for Warner. They're spotting the ball at the 42-yard line, which seems about 2 yards generous to me, but that's where they'll start it out. Ball's on the near hash mark. DJ Davis goes back to work. He's been bottled up mostly since the 1st quarter. Only 3 points scored in the second half of this game, a field goal for Warner. Davis throws, and that was nearly intercepted. Oh, a good chance there for the Rams, but just out of the reach.
Number 6, Jeff Suarez, falls incomplete. 2nd down.
And so it's 2nd down now.
And that's one thing for Davis and these receivers today. They don't even seem to be on the same page about which route they're going to be running. We've seen that 3 or 4 times.
2nd and 10. 6:32 on the clock, 4th quarter. Ball's at the 42-yard line. Handoff now for Benton. And he made something out of nothing as it looked like he was going to be tackled for a loss, but the spin move got him out to a gain of about 3 yards to the 45-yard line. 3rd and 8.
Tripped up the Rams 56, Andre Evans.
And again, you got him in a long situation, and something to note here, Nick, is that throwing the football on the sideline right now is Walter Harold. He's warming up his arm, or maybe he's just restless. Could be reading something into nothing. Meanwhile, it's 3rd and 8.
It is very interesting.
Motion from the slot. Davis almost got him on the hard count. Here's pressure. Dumps off a screen. That's complete. So Benton's going the wrong way, and he's tackled at the 37-yard line. They're going to lose yardage on that screen attempt, and well sniffed out by the Bluefield defense.
Brought down by number 6 Tracy Parker, and 18 Zachary Wright. Brings up 4th down.
So it's 4th down. The punting unit is on, and
46 May on the punt for the
Nick
Royals.
had just looked at the sideline, and as the offense is gathering, it is Walter Harold, the quarterback there, that Cason Witt's taken off his helmet, and they dapped up. So it looks like Harold's going to come into the game. Meanwhile, the kick is off. Myers lets it bounce, and that's going to take a Warner roll down to the 19. So with 4:55 to go in the fourth quarter, a 10-10 game.
Brian, this is going to raise a little bit of questions. Is Walter Harold going to come into this game feeling like he needs to do too much after sitting out these first 3 quarters? Is he going to come in and force throws? Is he going to come in and try and make plays with his legs that just don't need to be made? Or is he going to come in, answer the bell, and lead this game-winning touchdown drive?
Either way, this is not something you often see. A quarterback coming in a tie game with under 5 minutes to play. It's 4:55, and he's coming into the game to try and provide a spark. Handoff is to Martin. And he made one man miss and was tripped up across the 20 to about the 22-yard line.
Number 3, Alex Martin, the ball carrier.
So Walter Harold
Down by number 11.
will have 2nd and 7 now as the clock winds at 4:37. 2 one-win teams, Bluefield 1-3, Warner 1-2. Battling it out for the 2nd win of the season. And Martin on the handoff, and he had nowhere to go. Looked like maybe a read option there, and Harold, if that was the case, probably should have kept it and ran it himself because there were 2 defenders in the backfield right on top of the running back.
I agree. I don't think that's the style of running that Alex Martin is accustomed to. He's more of a north and south type runner.
3rd and 12. 4:04 to go in the fourth quarter.
This has not been a situation that Harold has excelled in, is throwing the ball down the field.
Suddenly, neither one of these teams is really moving the football at all, as now Harold fires downfield, and he way overthrew his intended target. Looking for Antonio Strickland, and the quarterback change yields a 3 and out.
To steal a term from baseball, this second half has been like a very well-pitched game. Neither team can really get anything going offensively other than that field goal that we saw earlier from Warner. The rest of it has been 3 or 4 plays and then punt it off.
Defensive struggle to be sure in the second half. Only 3 points on the board in the second half. It's a 10-10 game. 3:50 to go, and now once more, it'll be Presley to kick it away. High wobbling punt, and that will be fair caught right at the 50-yard line.
This will be Warner's best starting position of the day. Let's see if they can capitalize with 3 minutes and 43 seconds left.
They're setting themselves up pretty nicely here to not have that far to go before they are really within field goal range. 2 timeouts to work with for Warner. 3:43 to go in the game, and really they just need to pick up maybe 2 first downs, and they're right there.
Right, and this is the style of football that they want to play. They want to just run it and run a lot of time off this clock.
Davis on the keeper. Got about a yard, and then he was lit up. Big tackle coming in. That was Devin Jackson leading the charge. Coming up from the safety position. Maybe a yard on the play. It's going to be 2nd and a long 9.
C.J. Davis on the keeper.
3:23 to go.
Number 4, Devin Jackson. Number 6, Tracy Parker.
As the clock ticks down. Davis in no hurry. Play clock's at 14. Davis slings it out into the slot. That's complete. Streaking up ahead toward first down territory. He's across the 40, about the 39-yard line. That's a first down for Warner.
Brought down by number 35.
They'll give him the 38. 1st and 10 from there. Under 3 minutes now at 2:53. And at a certain point, if they pick up another one of those first downs, The Rams need to think about using timeouts.
Absolutely. Stop this clock and make sure there's enough time to do score for Bluefield to score.
From the shotgun, Davis slings it, and a good tackle from Devin Jackson, who comes up and breaks up the play. Theo Hammonds had nowhere to go. He lost. 2nd and 11, 2:20 on the clock as it winds down. DJ Davis just trotting over from the sideline as he went back to get the play call from his coaches. Sets up in a pistol, 3 wide receivers and a tight end. He's got a tailback. Davis, play fake, rolling out. He's got one man staring him down, called for a block, and he slid right around the line of scrimmage, just kind of seeded that play. It's going to be 3rd and 11.
That was odd. As the clock ticks to about 1 minute and 40 seconds left. They're in no hurry, but I'm not sure with 3rd down and 12 and you're at the 40. This is not field goal range.
No, not at all.
So
this is out of NFL field goal kicker range. Clock's at 1:23, and they are not hurrying at all. No, neither team thinking about taking a timeout. 3rd and 12 from the 40. This has not been the forte of this offense, picking up these kind of plays. Davis back to pass, pressure coming, throws over the middle, and that one was behind its target. McClary got a hand on it, but it's going to be 4th and 12 and a 3.
Number 15, McClary falls incomplete, brings up 4th down.
They went for that middle. They went for that soft spot of that Bluefield defensive secondary and didn't get it. That ball was thrown on the receiver's back hip, and that's a very, very hard ball to catch, especially over the middle.
So I beg your pardon, not a 3-and-out. They did pick up the 1 first down, so gain about 10 yards in the field position battle before the ball will be kicked away here. 69 seconds on the clock, and this punt sailing over towards the 10-yard line area, goes out of bounds at around the 12. And so Bluefield will get the football with 1 minute and 2 seconds on the clock in the 4th quarter. A tie game. Still has all 3 of its timeouts. And we saw at the end of the first half, Kason Witt make a couple of plays and get the team to within field goal range. We did see Walter Harold come out for the last set of downs, and looks like he's going to stay as the quarterback, and he's tasked with making some big plays and moving this football.
This is not easy for any quarterback, especially inside your own 20-yard line when you haven't had great success throwing the ball this season. Let's see the young fella do his work.
The redshirt sophomore on 1st and 10 from the 12-yard line. He's in the shotgun. Back to pass. Looking downfield, he's got single coverage from Myers, who went up for it. And there's a late flag coming in. A late flag as Jamal Tillman broke it up, but he also made some contact with Johnny Myers. So 15 yards will be given to the Bluefield offense, and that'll move it down to the 27-yard line.
That's exactly what the doctor ordered for Bluefield. Not a completed pass, but 15 yards and getting us moving in the right direction as the clock has dropped under a minute.
57 seconds. We've lost only 5 seconds on that play and picked up 15 yards as the clock is stopped as well. First down, Bluefield. Harold trying to engineer the drive. From the shotgun, 3 receivers to his right, 1 to the left. Tailback's Brown. He's back to pass and dumps it off to Brown, and that's incomplete, and that was not really anywhere close to being catchable for Brown. A little bit too much zip on that pass.
In this 4th quarter, neither one of these offenses have gotten anything going, especially just nothing fast for sure.
54 seconds on the clock, 2nd and 10 from the 27-yard line.
2nd down.
He's back to pass again. Now Harold's going to try and run with it. He's got speed, gets himself loose, throws, and that will be incomplete. Intended for Myers. It was a little bit short of the receiver. Kind of skipped that one. 47 seconds, 3rd and 10.
3rd down.
Ball still at the 27-yard line. And still the only positive yards the offense has picked up was from that pass interference play. Third and 10 from the 27. Harold back to pass. Here's pressure. Tried to set up a screen. It's incomplete. Tried to find Jeff Hughes. And neither one of these offenses has been able to get anything going in winning time here in the fourth quarter.
See if Drake Presley can pin them back a little bit, and hopefully we can run these 43 seconds off, or shoot, maybe get a pick six, you know, go into overtime.
43 seconds to go. 10-10 ball game. Presley to kick. The junior's been busy. That's Suarez back to receive the kick. Punts in the air. Suarez lets it bounce, and it'll take a Warner bounce back towards midfield. The ball's going to be spotted at the 47-yard line. That's where DJ Davis and the offense takes over for Warner with 34 seconds to go. And I think they really only need one or two big, decent plays to get them to have a chance. They still have 2 timeouts.
Right, 1 or 2 first downs. If they can get that within 34 seconds. Their kicker kicked a decently long field goal earlier in this game, and they could put the game on his foot.
So DJ Davis, and the big pass has not been his forte in this game, but he's been able to pick up a lot of plays with his legs. He walks the offense back out, and they're going to go to work from the shotgun. 34 seconds to go in the game. Motion from the slot. Davis back to pass. Bouncing, looking, dumps it off, and that's complete to Price. He's going to get out of bounds and will do so at around the 42-yard line.
Again, DJ Davis's pass.
26 seconds now on the clock.
That's exactly what Warner's going to want to do the rest of this drive, is a lot of outs or a lot of over the middle, is trying to get to that sideline and get out of bounds, not having to burn a timeout that they don't need to use.
That is enough for a first down. Davis with 26 seconds on the clock now. He'll tuck it and run right up the middle, and he's tackled at the 38-yard line, and immediately a timeout taken by Warner, and that's exactly what you have to do in that situation. 22 seconds on the clock, and they've got it within the 40, Nick.
Just a reminder, Kennedy Mays' field goal earlier in the game was 34 yards, so we're coming up on that. They just need about 15 yards.
Janess Kennedy May on the season now 2 for 5 on field goals. He has made a 44-yarder. Timeout's taken. We're going to keep it right here as with 22 seconds to go on 2nd and 6 from the 38-yard line. The Royals will have one more timeout here, Nick, and you mentioned likely to see some more of the kind of outs and trying to give them a chance to get out of bounds to maximize the potential plays here.
Right, anything over the middle, they're going to be stuck having to take that final timeout. And that's not a situation as a head coach that you want to be in. You practice this at the end of every practice throughout the week, is a 2-minute situation of figuring out which routes are going to work and which ones you can get out of bounds and effectively gain yards at the same time instead of just throwing 1 to 2 yards, wasting that time and getting out.
They're in Bluefield territory at the 38. Clock has stopped at 22. They'll blow the whistle, and DJ Davis gets ready for the snap. 4 wide receivers, 3 of them to his left. The running back is Benton. He's going to keep it himself and can't quite get away, just back towards the line of scrimmage, and I believe they're going to take a timeout again, and that'll be the final timeout if so, and it stops at 16 seconds. Referee turned his microphone on a little prematurely. Warner takes its final timeout, and so really here now they have to put it in the air, and Davis seems reluctant to do that. He always looks to tuck it and run as soon as the pressure comes.
Right, he's sticking with what he's succeeded with all day, and his first thought is if that first read's not there, let me pull it down and try and make a play with my legs. Unfortunately, with 16 seconds left and no timeouts, this is not a situation where that's okay. You have to get rid of the ball, and you have to get rid of it quick. Your timing with your receivers, which has not been there today for Warner, has to be there, and you have to put the ball in a situation where your receiver can catch it, get out of bounds without wasting too much time.
Now, at this point, they also would be able to, with the clock stopping, move the chains, probably be able to get one over the middle and then run up and clock it really quickly. But that, of course, be a little bit more difficult than just getting out of bounds. 16 seconds on the clock, and they need at least one completion to get themselves to within some decent range for their kicker, Janess Kennedy May.
Right. And with third down, let's say they get a ball over the middle and they're a yard or two short of that first down marker. That's a tough spot to be in as a coach and as a quarterback, trying to figure out your offense and call a play on the run.
Here we go. Ball spotted at the 38-yard line. Davis on a designed rollout. Tucks it and runs, and he'll duck out of bounds and near first down yardage. 12 seconds on the clock. We'll see where they spot him.
10 DJ Davis on the keeper.
And he's going to be a couple of yards short. They're going to say he went out of bounds at the 35. And so now with 12 seconds left, looks like they're going to bring the field goal unit out. He has made a 44-yarder this year. This would be a 52-yard field goal to give Warner the lead. Bluefield sends a man back deep to potentially return, and a late timeout called just as they snap it by Bluefield to try and ice the kicker. So Kennedy May, who has now 2 for 5 on the season on field goals, he made a 44-yarder earlier in the season. He has the 34-yarder today. Bluefield calls its first timeout. They had put a man deep to potentially go back and return that.
And Brian, I'm not sure if that's Bluefield's best idea. If we think they're going to miss the kick, you might as well drop and take the ball back at the 35 and then toss one as far as you can and see if you can come down with it.
Only 12 seconds left on the clock. It's 4th and 3 from the 35.
This would be an extremely impressive kick.
He's getting a little bit more time to think about it here with Bluefield taking the timeout. That's Tyrese Henry who's going back to potentially try and swat it away or return it. A 52-yard attempt to give Warner the late lead. And they called timeout again. Oh, the suspense and the drama.
Little cat and mouse game right here.
Bluefield takes 2 consecutive timeouts.
And Brian, could we see a third consecutive timeout?
I hope not. So you know at this point they have the personnel that they want out there. They know what the plan is. Henry's still standing back in the end zone. He's right beyond the F in Bluefield. You know, at this point, I wonder what the coaches are saying in these huddles. Like, after you've said 2 timeouts and everybody knows why you're calling this timeout.
Right.
Talking about dinner plans. Maybe if they saw a girl they like in the stands. All right, let's focus. Line it up again, a 52-yard attempt. This could be to take the late lead for Warner. The snap is good. The kick is up. It's in the air, going to be well short. Henry fields it, and he's just going to go down in the end zone. Or no, they're going to say he fielded it with his foot on the back line. He won't have a chance to return it. So 5 seconds on the clock. And I believe we'll see where they spot the ball. I don't think that'll be a touchback.
I don't think so either. I wasn't sure on the rule.
Since he didn't let him bring it out, and they'll say he's out of bounds when he caught it. So, yeah, they're going to spot the ball all the way back at the, looks like the 35-yard line. After the missed field goal, and that was well short and a little bit to the left.
It was.
So we'll see if the Rams can complete a Hail Mary or if we're destined for overtime.
We look to be in victory formation, Brian.
You're right. He's going to just go ahead and take a knee, and we're going for overtime. So 60 minutes not enough. We're not decided here at Bluefield. At the end of regulation, the game is tied at 10. We've got overtime. We'll come back with the overtime action in just a moment here at the Rams Digital Sports Network.
Warner.
We've got overtime in Bluefield. The Rams and the Warner University Royals still tied at 10 after 60 minutes. And we're headed for overtime. Bluefield won the toss, elected to start on defense. The college football overtime rules, both team gets a chance to score as they'll start it with Bluefield on defense and Warner with the football on the 25-yard line. After Warner, if they score a touchdown, a field goal, or nothing, regardless, Bluefield will get the ball after that with a chance to match or better them.
And this will be interesting to see if these offenses have figured anything out between the 10-minute period we had between fourth quarter and now, because both just could not move the ball last quarter.
The fourth quarter, an absolute defensive struggle, and now DJ Davis and the offense of the Warner University Royals will start with the ball at the 25-yard line. 1st and 10. Davis on a designed run to the right side, bottled up, and a big tackle made right at the line of scrimmage. Andre Evans did the job. He's been busy.
DJ Davis on the keeper.
2nd and 10.
Number 76, Bobby McBride. And number 56, Andre Evans.
So Bluefield probably noting that it has been such a struggle on the defensive side, both teams really just locking up. I'd imagine that weighs into a little bit of them deciding to start on defense and maybe get their offense out there with a chance to win.
Exactly. Also, I think being inside the 30, I think BJ Davis is going to take a lot of time. DJ Davis.
2nd and 9. Play fake, pressure, down he goes in the backfield. Off the backside, Michael Everett's got a sack. Plenty of those in the second half. That'll be 3rd and long now.
And that comes back with our defensive ends going up the field instead of trying to break down and go after the running back on the play action, sticking with it and watching the quarterback.
3rd and 14. They've lost 4 yards on this overtime possession. Ball's at the 29-yard line. Davis with an empty set. He's back to pass. DJ Davis dumps it off to the right side. That's complete to Hammonds. And Hammonds is knocked out of bounds at the 21-yard line. Not going to be enough for a first down. That will bring up 4th and about 6.
I think we'll see the field goal unit come on here and try and steal 3 out of this.
Yep, here they come, Jeunesse Kennedy May, to try and make something happen here. They'll spot it at the 22-yard line. This will be a 39-yard field goal.
Brian, the last time out, it was a long shot, but he did miss his last field goal, so that's got to be in his head a little bit.
He missed it short and to the left on a 52-yard attempt. This to give his team the upper hand in overtime. Kick is up, and it looked like it was partially blocked. Well short, I think a Ram got a hand on it. And Bluefield holds, so a field goal can win the game for the Rams. A friends and family level gathering here on what's turned into a chilly fall evening in Bluefield, but they are making themselves heard.
Let's take that momentum that we just got from blocking that kick, and let's get the ball in the end zone here. Let's get this offense going. Casey Witt heading out back out as quarterback, so we'll see what approach Billy Left takes right here.
Witt back into the game. He played all but the final 2 offensive series in regulation time. Hand off. The running back. This is Mark. Broken couple tackles. He's across the 20. The 19, 18-yard line.
Already see Tanner Griffin down here warming up.
Griffin, fresh good kicker. He's at his net on the far side. Out of view of the camera. From the shotgun formation, Witt hands it off, and they're right on top of that time. Nice work for Martin. Nearly get the line of scrimmage. Yard on the 20-yard line. Third and long for a short 5. What it's worth, that run hit center the ball just off the right hash.
And I can see him try and run that almost the exact same again.
Design roll out to the right. Throw is short hop intended on the right side for Charles Black completes. And so now here comes Tanner Griffin for a chance to win the football game. The ball is spotted at the 19-yard line.
This is a 36-yard field goal attempt. Griffin has made one today. He's 4 for 5 on the season.
As a kicker, this is a spot you really look forward to.
So Tanner Griffith with a 36-yarder to try and win the game. And he's going to be iced. The cat and mouse game, the all-important icing of the kicker. Timeout taken by Warner and Rod Schaefer, the head coach.
Warner.
Griffith.
That's his first and only timeout of the overtime period.
His field goal he made earlier in the game was a 34-yarder. He had the range on it. He's also missed a field goal, missed the 33-yarder at the end of the first half that he hooked left. That would have made it a 13-7 lead for Bluefield. The Rams have not scored in the second half. But here in overtime, with a chance to win it after the defense stopped the Warner offense and a field goal was missed by the Royals. Now Tanner Griffith with a chance. Again, a 36-yard field goal. The snap is good, the hold is good, the kick is up, and it is good! Bluefield wins in overtime. Tanner Griffith bangs through the 36-yard field goal, and the Rams win 13-10. And the party's on.
Doing cartwheels out there. That's awesome. From a program that has struggled to really get going, any win that you get is huge, and I'm super happy for these guys, and I'm excited for Dewey Lusk and what he's doing for this program.
The second win of the season, Bluefield's going to improve to 3, and they're partying on the field as he bangs it through, makes the 36-yard field goal. The freshman kicker, Tanner Griffith, is the hero as they'll go through the handshake line, and at times it was ugly, at times it was entertaining. In the end, pretty good football game.
It was extremely fun to watch. The second half was an absolute defensive battle as both offenses couldn't move, but watching Tanner Griffith kick one through the uprights right there, that was fun to watch, especially for a program that has not yet really gotten going. That's a huge win.
So some things to build on for Bluefield. They get the win as they improve to 2-3. Warner drops to 1-3 on the season. And the Rams, maybe will be a question as who's the quarterback going into next week. Case and Witt looked pretty good at times. The running game looked pretty good at times. The defense was fantastic.
Absolutely, and I think that is going to be a huge storyline going into next week is who will take that first snap at quarterback for Bluefield College. Case and Witt had a heck of a game. We saw Walter Harold there in at the end. You can't really fault him for that. That is 2 extremely tough drives to be thrown into after standing around for an entire game. But this is a huge win for this program, and I'm super happy for these fellas.
Well, Nick, that's gonna do it for our broadcast today. A good performance by the Bluefield defense. They hold the final score 13-10 in overtime. Tanner Griffith is the hero with a 36-yard field goal to win it. So for my partner, Nick Ratliff, and for everybody here with the Bluefield College Rams, I'm Brian Gardner signing off from Mitchell Stadium. Until we speak again, whenever or wherever that may be, have a wonderful rest of your Saturday evening, everyone, and so long for now.